Welcome to the Gibberpish podcast.
Well, you could use my fucking head to guide traffic during a fucking blizzard, but we're here to talk Gibberpish, aren't we, Dom?
Yep, absolutely. We're back.
We're sunburnt, and we're...
Some of us are sunburnt. I think I'm just sweaty as all fuck, because I decided to wear a long sleeve t-shirt on a fucking hot day.
The United Kingdom is about to experience the true wrath of a heatwave that's been building apparently across the western part of Europe for the last couple of days. We're starting to get there now. Temperatures are about 18-20 degrees. You got to understand, people. Scotland is north. All right.
I think the highest we reach on a day-to-day basis could possibly be about 11 degrees.
Yeah, 11-12 degrees. You're like, that's a nice warm day.
Yeah, and you get a little breeze and you think, oh, this is the perfect summer's day. But if you're like myself, who is a winter child,
yeah,
I fucking love the cold. I'm not good with high temperatures.
We are large, hairy gentlemen designed to live in the snow.
We are built for the snow.
Yes. So when I this morning woke up, I walked a couple miles over the road in the heat, had lunch with my grandmother, walked up, had another meeting or kind of like hangout with another grandparent in their garden for an hour, and then walked back. I knew I was in for some shit, so I am already on my third layer of after sun, hoping that will somehow soothe the raging hatred that my skin has become at this point. It's disgusting. It feels bad. I feel slimy as well because of the after sun, so I'm all... it's not a good day, but it's a perfect day for recording a podcast, because if I've got that little bit of venom in me, I might just let it out on something. Just it doesn't deserve it.
I know exactly what we're talking about with that little bit of venom. For me, it's there's a huge event in Bo'ness, the town that you've escaped from and I am still mired deep in, called the Bo'ness Fair Day, which is a huge source of fun for a lot of kids. It's the end of the school year, so then the summer begins. When I was in high school, primary school, the Fair Day was always fucking awesome.
It is an entire town turned into a party.
Yeah,
for no reason.
Yeah, for no reason. It wasn't really awesome because I never really drank until the appropriate age because I was square and cool as fuck like that.
Nerd.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, literally, the first time someone said to me, "Oh, dude, just have a lot of drink," I went, "What if my dad finds out?" Genuine, actual words from this fat fucker.
Your dad won't drink it, pussy.
See, to be fair, thinking about it, he probably would. But yeah. It was always this kind of, right, summer's over, school's over, summer's about to start, what do we do? And the Fair Day was always the kind of start of that. Like, there was always just a happiness about the town. Yeah. But then as you get older, you see, oh right, the kids are happy because they have no one to watch them because the parents are blind drunk.
Yes.
And now, as an even older man going towards his 30s, I realised that the Fair Day is just a fucking pain in the arse because the roads are all closed off till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Everybody has been drinking since 6 o'clock in the morning. Everybody is punching and kicking the shit out of each other, and you're trying to get anywhere. It's impossible to get anywhere in Bo'ness during the Fair Day unless you are decked out in Fair Day official martial high-vis vests, or you have a little lanyard that says "I'm a Fair Day official." Yeah. It's fucking impossible. The
town shuts down for a children's parade, and when you write that out on paper, you start to think that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Yeah. But this week has actually been Linlithgow's turn. They have their marches, which is a historical kind of recreation of, at one point, somebody was concerned about people invading the borders of the borough of Linlithgow. So the royal borough of Linlithgow. And he said, y'all go wander around and see what's going on. And then every year we just do that again. And then there's the gala day, which was this Saturday. I was luckily working. But I had there was a guy coming up from Mansfield in near Nottingham to look at some of the equipment in the lab. And he was in town. He had no idea what was going on, and I forgot to mention it to him because I'd scheduled it for the Tuesday, which was the marches. And I said, "Oh, just pop up and take a look at the machine, and if you can get to the one in the chemistry lab, that'd be great." And he drove in and he was like, "What the hell are you people doing today?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes,
"Slaughtering the virgins."
He said, "I just tried to get through the main town square. Everything is lit. There's people everywhere. What the fuck is going on?" I'm like, "Oh, it's a thing we do, and it's really just an excuse for a party and a drink. There's no real rhyme or reason to it."
Think about it this way: if you straight line it, if you say, right, the parents are nowhere to be seen. There are childminders that watch your children parade through the streets. It's some kind of weird child cattle march.
Yeah, it's
try and explain it to someone, but not say it's a festival.
Yeah.
We say Friday is the day where the parents disappear and make merry, but we march the children through the street for the Queen.
We parade the children to crown their new Queen. She is Queen of all children in the town.
And one among them may get ballsy enough to challenge the champion, and he may lose.
Could you imagine if I keep waiting for this, because part of the tradition is a ceremony that is literally the cracking of the queen happens the Sunday before,
something like that,
and then you have the crowning ceremony, which
is the day of
the actual day of the fair, and everyone gets together in town. They all sing these weird songs. It's super stupid. Like the second you start to think about it,
you could do an anthropological study on the behavioural nature, or the nature of the behaviour of people who attend the fair, because it becomes very. Which school did you go to? I went to Deanburn. You went to Grange. We must fight.
Yeah, you will find people on the side of the streets chanting out for the children to sing at their school chant, saying, "Right, guys, how do we do the Deanburn chant?" And you will hear like the kids from Deanburn sing it away, and then you will hear from across the street somebody go, "Keneal's better." Dude, these are like primary schools. Yeah. No one gives a shit. There's no sports teams. There's no nothing. This isn't like American football where there's a college level like application. There is just like children walking through the streets chanting about how their school's the greatest.
They're singing sea shanties pretty much.
Yes.
There's no two ways about it. They're just children singing sea shanties because that's what their parents told them to do.
Yeah, it's absurd. I encourage people to just show up for a day to see it. You won't, but at the same time,
the funniest thing of all time is getting people who have lived in, say, Falkirk, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Stirling, and just getting them to come to either Linlithgow or Bowness round about the fair or Gallaudet, because it is your real, town mouse, city mouse type scenario, because they don't know what the fuck is going on.
It's just this thing that people have spread throughout these small towns. It's all these small mining towns.
Yeah, they're all drunk as fuck. They're all punching each other.
And that all stems from the fact that it used to be the miners' only day off.
Yeah.
That if you were a miner down the pit, you would be guaranteed the fair day off.
And now it's just, let's call it what it is. It's now just an excuse for people to get drunk and spend £6,000 on fair day arches for their children.
We're not doing arches, Dom. Yeah. I'm sorry. We cannot explain the fact that we build shit in front of our houses in a theme with everyone else in the school to display our pride in people who are involved in the fair ceremony.
I won't explain it, but it's the fact that people spend upwards of £6,000 to get these arches, and in some cases £10,000, because there was arches for the Queen a couple of years ago, back when we were in high school, that were 10 grand, 10 to 12 grand. I think we know.
Yeah, we know who we're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You won't. People on the internet won't, unless you're from Bowness. In that case, you probably will fucking know who it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, enough talking about the fair, because I will burst a blood vessel, because it has invaded my
cul-de-sac
fortress of solitude, my bat cave. It has invaded my street, and now I can't get in and out of my street.
It's all up in his shit, people.
Fuck! I don't like it. I have
weird.
A bow. I will stop taking motherfuckers out.
So. As a distraction from this,
I want to talk about this because the reason why I have a bow is because my niece has a bow and she likes to shoot. So I thought, all right,
she's actually interested in archery.
Yeah, she's fucking great.
Awesome.
She's 6 but gifted. You know how the term is grouping.
Mm-hmm.
She fired about 4 arrows and she got the tightest, really really tight grouping on the bullseye.
Nice.
She's very very gifted with the old hand-eye coordination. But the weird thing is she has fucking milk bottle glasses. Like big TV style glasses. They have been since changed, so she's got more appropriate ones, but they're thick as hell lenses. So yeah, that's why I have a bow. I'm not a murderer or anything. I don't want to be Green Arrow because that guy kind of sucks. But yeah,
nobody wants to be Green Arrow. Green Arrow doesn't want to be.
Even
Green
when people play the video games with Green Arrow in them, no one plays Green Arrow.
I spent a week in detox from Joe Rogan's podcast because he was away on the island of Lanai for a week. I don't really follow him that much. I don't go back and check tweets or anything like that. And he would never announce that he was out of town because that's a stupid fucking thing for someone to do, was to announce, I won't be at home for the next week. You guys have fun in my LA mansion.
Yeah, especially if you're Joe Rogan, who's probably got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, remember I'm to Philip DeFranco, so he doesn't announce his stuff anymore. Yeah. He left town to do something. I think maybe not with Rooster Teeth, but he was in Texas.
Might be an RTX.
I think he was away for like a weekend.
Although Rogue Rocket is probably going to get bought over by Rooster Teeth. I can see that coming. Nothing's official. There's no rumor, but just I can see it. Rogue Rocket is a startup business by Phil DeFranco. I can see maybe him turning to Bernie and saying, "Could you have any help?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure, come with us. We could use a news show."
The only thing is that Rogue Rocket is the product of his Kickstarter. So
Patreon, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's a Kickstarter Patreon type thing.
Yeah, alright.
Like that's his crowdfunding. That's what he's building with that. That's the network. He wants to move away from being DeFranco and be the guy at the head of Rogue Rocket. So I if they did that, if he sold it out, I would expect people to be incredibly pissed.
Yeah. I always thought it was just a Patreon type thing, just to get money behind it. But yeah, if it's been crowdfunded and this is what's happened, yeah, it would be a hell of a slap in the face if
his original
he sold it.
Thing that he came out with was that he wanted to build a news network, and Rogue Rocket is that news network. So I think if he was to turn around and say, "No, I'm selling out," I'd be very surprised if he got away with it with his skin still on him, because he would be absolutely hided for it.
Yeah, I can see why.
Especially Rooster Teeth's current issues. Yeah. Have you seen any of this stuff?
The last I seen was them getting chastised for cancelling Sugar Pine 7, but...
No, you're about 2 weeks behind at this point.
Really? Fuck, what happened?
So the Sugar Pine 7 cancellation was weird.
It was weird, but at the same time, they handled it as best as they could. Sugar Pine 7 wasn't performing as well as it could have, and Steven Suptic, James, and Kib were just burnt out. Yeah. Suptic more so than anybody. That guy has some things to work through. So
yeah, we were talking about this off mic last week, but it's for the best if he takes time off and leaves
and comes back. Can you imagine him with a bit of rest, a bit of therapy behind him, and he's just got a clean slate? You imagine the kind of shit he.
Because he's a talented young guy. He's really fucking good at what he does.
That's what I liked about Sugar Pine 7 as a channel, not some of their content, because Kib always got a bit too weird for me. James was a bit. James DeAngelis, he was always a bit more of the straight guy. Which
Can I be honest? They're a bit too millennial. Like, they're literally running around vaping on e-scooters at one point. I'm like, dude.
I can see why that would be seen as a bit millennial, but quite a few members of my family vape, so I try not to see it as millennial, but I know. And
you know what you mean. You're like, come on, guys.
I agree with you. They're a bit millennial.
You get the flannel shirts, skinny jeans, vaping on an e-scooter. I mean, it's almost offensive.
What's wrong with flannel shirts and bootcuts?
Yeah.
Where's my big-legged boys at?
Yeah, where them chonky boys at?
With them
chonky boy. We were talking about we were talking about this last week, but what's happened since then is that there have been reviews on a site called Glassdoor.com where you can review employers, and Rooster Teeth has been getting hammered for the last 2 weeks solid with basically just animators who are frustrated, fed up, and want out.
Alright.
They talking about overtime crunch, this kind of culture that doesn't encourage crunch but lets you know that crunch is to kind of be expected. And this is coming up across animation, across video game development, and companies are going to try to react to the fact that people don't want the art. Like, yes, sometimes an artist will suffer for the art. You can't, as a corporation, demand that someone suffers for their art.
Yeah, because I know Nintendo, they put out a statement saying that our games will probably start taking longer to come out because we are very, very keen to combat the crunch.
Yeah.
And then when you see creators like Masahiro Sakurai, who has calcific tendinitis,
right,
because of all the work that he's put into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Kid Icarus Uprising, all the Fire Emblem games, you can see that it's taking a heavy toll on him. So creators like that and other creators that are putting their bodies on the line to get the best product that they can, Nintendo are saying, no, don't fucking put yourself under any strain just for the sake of a game. We will give you all the time that you need. There's no such thing as a deadline anymore with Nintendo. It's just get the game done. And
that stems, I think, from their do you know what their blue water policy is? Blue water was this kind of philosophical idea that they had, where the idea was that all the game companies are sharks, and that Microsoft and Sony would turn the water red, but Sony or Nintendo will step away from all their fighting and all their combat of trying to release the greatest games with the highest PC specs or whatever, and would take a step back and just indulge in clear blue waters and make what they wanted to make without deliberately confronting other studios and other teams and other stuff. And I think they have a way more zen approach to how they produce games, and I think that's where that comes from, the idea that we'll stop asking you to basically harm yourselves for the purpose of our corporate art, which is what gaming is, really.
And I think that can only be a good thing, because I probably speak for you in this regard as well, but when I say we don't care how long the game takes to come out, as long as we get some kind of update saying don't worry, the game's still happening, as long as it does actually come out and it doesn't become another Duke Nukem Forever Kingdom Hearts 3 situation, just let us know that the game is coming out. Don't fucking kill yourself, hurt yourself, or otherwise, just to get a game out.
And we're on this podcast saying every time Nintendo or some other company delays a game for quality issues, we say that's a great move, that should have been done before, well done, we wholeheartedly encourage and applaud this. Why would we not do the same thing for people making sure the quality of life for their employees are as high as the standard of the game itself?
Definitely. I mean, recently we had, for us Metroid fans, we had Metroid Prime 4 completely scrapped and started the game because they weren't happy with the standard of work. And a lot of people are saying, oh, that's bullshit, it's never going to come out. So it's still going to come out, but they just don't want to rush it.
Yeah.
Like that attitude towards any kind of creation of anything, whether it be movies, music, games, what have you, is probably the right way to do it. They focus on the staff as well as the end product.
Yeah. So Roosterteeth received good hiding for their crunch policy, or their unofficial crunch policies, or workplace culture, and it seemed I was kind of a bit on the fence with this whole thing because it's all delivered anonymously. Because there's no way to verify that someone who says on a website where you can just probably sign in and say, oh yeah, I was an animator there, I used to work too much, I've got problems here, this is an issue. It's kind of hard to go through and validate every one of those people until the one of the heads of the project, Nomad from Nowhere, or Nomad for Nowhere, I can't remember which one it is. It's one of the RT things that I didn't really watch, but that was an animated series they made a couple years ago, and this is him saying publicly through his Twitter saying, no, everything you read in the Glassdoor stuff is correct. No, maybe not everything is correct, but I will vouch for all the people talking about crunch, the people talking about this, and I'll do it publicly because it's bad for us, it's bad for the company, and we believe things need to change.
I wasn't aware that Rooster Teeth had that big an animation side, because I know they do
like
Gen
200 people.
200 people.
Yeah.
I mean, how many shows do they have? Because they've got Ruby and Ruby Chibi,
Ruby,
Genlock.
Red vs. Blue is animated as well.
Yeah.
So that used to be the Machinima. Yeah. They're doing the new season. I think they're animating now. But they spend, the cycle is RVB, Ruby, and then it comes down to Camp, the animated adventures as well. They're being produced almost constantly.
Yeah.
You then have, I don't know if they contribute to Achievement Hunters animated stuff as well, because they have little animated stuff the same way they do animated adventures for the RT podcast. There's a specific one that goes out on the Achievement Hunter channel. But I don't know if that's a kind of subcontracted thing that they give out to animators in the community, or if it's something they actually do in-house. But they've got that, and there's always something new. And then obviously Genlock, hopefully, I mean, this is the worst part of it. This, from RT's point of view, they're pushing for an Emmy for Genlock.
Really?
Yeah, they're looking for an Emmy for outstanding animation, which frankly it would deserve.
Yeah. But something like this, when it comes to it and they say, oh, we're looking at this Genlock show, oh wait, there's been this buzz about it, I think that it's not going to be in there.
When you consider that the kind of politics behind these Emmy and Oscar nominations, it is a political advertisement campaign. It's the same thing as trying to get elected, and it happens every year. If you actually look into Oscar nomination process, it's total fucking bullshit. The amount of time and money wasted by studios on this thing, I would much prefer to take all the money they waste trying to get an Oscar and just drop it in a charity and say, look, we want some good PR, which is all an Oscar really is. And as a studio, we've decided to say, fuck the Oscars, here's all the money for this going to some charity for kids in schools with really bad crime rates or something like that.
I can guarantee that a production studio along the lines of, say, Marvel Studios or any Disney subsidiary is going to do that soon.
Yeah.
They're just going to say, we're not going to fucking go for an Oscar, let's just give money to charity, let's give back.
The Oscars running out of prestige very fast. So most things are. I don't think there's really, what's the point? I mean, people like it, they don't, and you can hear about that through the public. And there's very few times I've seen a film and said, I wasn't going to watch it, but since it was Oscar nominated, I'll give it a go.
I've never said that. Yeah, there's not been a single movie in my existence where I thought, that's been Oscar nominated. In fact, do you want to know why I've never watched an Oscar nominated film? Because Suicide Squad was Oscar nominated and Oscar winning.
I forgot that was up for an Oscar.
Won an Oscar for best makeup.
Yeah,
best makeup in VFX.
And you got to say, just no.
Killer Croc didn't look that cool.
Just on principle, no.
He looked like a Goomba.
Goomba looking ass.
Goomba ass looking bitch. There was no redeeming qualities of that movie. Fucking hate Suicide Squad.
It's still sitting on my Netflix list. I feel like I'm going to watch it just for the shit show.
Oh yeah, it is a sight to behold. You know when you see something that you're not quite sure of? Yeah. But it looks horrible. So you just can't stop looking.
The train wreck effect.
Yeah, the train wreck effect. The carnage is unfolding in front of you, but you just think, I can't look away. I need to see this in its entirety.
Must observe the chaos unfolding before my eyes. Oh God, why is it so horrific?
Oh, it's hellish. Yeah, DC are actually in a lot more bother than I realised.
Yeah.
Because they've been resting the laurels on Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Shazam. They've all done fairly well.
Yeah.
Their next projects were going to be Cyborg and The Flash. What the hell's the guy's name? Ray Fisher? Whatever, the guy that plays Cyborg and Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
Their contracts have run out.
Oh.
And Warner Brothers will not be renewing them.
Interesting.
Which
Okay.
is a fucking dumb move by Warner Brothers. Why have these people signed on to play roles, and so far they've played them twice? Fuck no. Fuck yeah, twice.
Batman v Superman.
Batman vs Superman and Justice League.
Yeah.
I mean, Gal Gadot has played Wonder Woman
4?
will be 4 times.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa Aquaman 3 times. Henry Cavill Superman has played Superman twice. Then he's gone. He's off the project. Ben Affleck, he's done with it. But they've cast Robert Pattinson in a separate, non-linked universe to Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Shazam.
I think that's the right way to do it, though.
Yeah, because it becomes such a shit show. DC Universe is going to have to do a complete reboot at some point.
Did you know, because we're talking about Genlock, starring Michael B. Jordan, we have just apparently seen rumours of a Matrix reboot with the Wachowski twins. I think, they're referred to as the Wachowski twins.
The Wachowskis, yeah.
Yeah, are coming back to direct, and Michael B. Jordan is getting involved as well.
As I found out recently, the Wachowski brothers, now the Wachowski brother and sister.
Yeah,
I think one of them took the step and got gender reassignment surgery.
I think both of them are somewhere on being transgender spectrum somewhere. I don't remember who's involved. I haven't paid attention to those guys.
Let's just call them the Wachowskis to avoid getting in shit.
Yes.
Are they coming back to direct it? Because that could be good.
Yeah.
If they help.
I'm willing to give it a go.
Yeah, because imagine computer generation technology now for Matrix effects could be cool as fuck. And if Michael B. Jordan's playing Neo,
I don't know who he's involved in, but
cool.
if he's going to take that role, I'll watch it.
Because he's heavily rumoured to be taking up the role of Superman as well.
Ooh.
Because they're planning on doing an Earth 2 Superman, which in Earth 2 Superman is the president of the United States, but he's basically Barack Obama and Superman did the fusion dance, became Super Obama.
Okay.
It's actually surprisingly good. It's better. It's a lot better reading Superman from Earth 2 than it is mainline Superman.
Yeah.
Because mainline Superman is ridiculously overpowered and strong and doesn't really have to worry about his image. But Superman 2 from Earth 2 is like he's got all the powers of Superman, but he needs to watch how he uses them because he's the fucking president.
Yeah. I just feel like it'd be a strange one to be. I mean, especially now with President Trump in office, he is the president. He is what maybe people will think of for the next couple of years as the president.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being there in the room, having a meeting with Trump, and all of a sudden he just goes, "Wait a minute!" He just touches his temple, goes, "Aha! I must go for a second," and he just like flies out the window to go deal with an issue in Africa, and you're like, we were trying to sort stuff out.
That's not going to be a steady flight. It's going to be
wobbly.
As he tries to lift it off.
Just real quick, did you see the president of Iran calling him a retard?
I love.
That's how we deal with shit.
That's
now.
how we deal.
Someone tells you the news and you go, fucking what?
This is why I'm in a love-hate relationship with Twitter. I love the fact that it's going to connect everyone. I can read people's thoughts and opinions on it, but I hate the fact that it's opened the door to this kind of political discussion because it's just Trump's a retard.
Well, the best part was...
Do you know President? There's someone playing Donald Trump in that weird Queen's Corgi animated movie.
Right.
Trump's in it. And he looks like Kingpin from Into the Spider-Verse, but just with Trump's head. Just this big, stocky, fridge-looking motherfucker.
Pretty suitable. But the original statement...
he's definitely suing the shit out of that.
The original statement was going to be... was on the lines of, we believe that the Trump administration suffers from mental retardation. And you're like, oh my god, what did that just say? And then all of a sudden it comes to the end of like the night on Sky News, and they keep repeating the story because it's 24/7 news channel. They have to keep coming back to the same old shit. And it got to the end where the woman was just like, yeah, so the president of Iran called Trump a retard. I spat my drink out. I was like, oh my god, we're devolving throughout the day as we get through this story because it's fucking monstrous. But yeah, I mean, back to DC. Sorry,
they're not too far off. I wouldn't say he's mentally. I wouldn't say he's mentally retarded. Mentally deluded, maybe.
I did see a footage of him screaming over the phone at a Fox News correspondent because there's apparently some issue with someone from Robert Mueller's team who they've been having some affair.
Okay.
And you're not supposed to have relations with someone you work with in the US government, and there's issues related to them being in a relationship, and Robert Mueller may have deleted some emails or something, and
surely
Trump is on the phone screaming at this woman who's just trying to kind of get the conversation to end. He's like, no, you're not listening to me. He tried to delete the files and I can't believe it. And I'm like, this looks fake. Like this seems wrong. Like if I need to see this from at least 3 news sources to believe it actually happened.
It be a deep fake would have taken Alex Jones rants from somewhere on InfoWars and superimposed it into in a video with Trump, and they've just blended Alex Jones' face in with Donald Trump's.
It was all I saw was the video. All I saw was the it's a picture of him for the phone call, and it says like Donald Trump, President of the United States, and it's him just screaming for like 5 minutes about this alleged affair. Like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on?
To our listeners in America, if there are any, Godspeed.
Yeah, good luck.
There's an election soon. You have the power to stop the What's-It coming back. Sorry, the Cheeto coming back.
The Cheeto in chief.
Yeah, the Cheeto in chief, because Americans don't know what What's-Its are unless they've come to the UK. But DC.
Such dignified, classy people who's to know what What's-It is. So anyway,
only as tea drinking Brits. DC.
So Wachowski brothers or Wachowski twins Matrix reboot would be interesting, but yeah, I think they are so fucked with these DC movies. I think they've sunk too much in. They're not getting cost returns.
Yeah, I think because I know Justice League, they sunk about 160 million into that, and they got 34 million back.
Oof!
It's a big hit, and now people are baying for the Snyder cut, and I don't think that the Zack Snyder cut of that movie is going to do as well as DC need it to, because it's not going to be as good. I mean,
I don't think they have it.
Avengers Endgame is getting re-released with 6 minutes more footage, and they're already claiming that it's going to make another $1 billion. This is a re-release of a movie that already did fucking gangbusters, and it's set to overtake Avatar.
A cinema re-release or a
cinema re-release?
Holy fuck! Like if you said there's an extended version coming to DVD, but okay.
Oh yeah, the extended version's coming to DVD. I got an email from Amazon today saying your Avengers Endgame plus bonus disc plus director's cut will be released on the 2nd of September.
Oh,
so I was like, £15 for the original movie, a director's cut, and a bonus disc. Fucking hell yeah! If they gave me a poster, I'd be happy with that. But fuck, what was I talking about?
Just the DC's losses in general. The hits just keep coming.
Yeah,
kids.
the hits just keep coming because they are cutting all their CW shows across the board, and even some of their DC, the DC's equivalent to Netflix, I think it's called just DC Universe.
Yeah.
Swamp Thing got cancelled after 2 episodes.
Fucking Christ.
But that's the thing, it was a really, really good show.
And Swamp Thing's a really weird character. Like, he's very powerful, but only in certain constraints.
He's powerful if there is any kind of green around him, any kind of plant life, and that is...
That weed.
That is all. I'm pretty sure, what's his name? Alan Moore, the great comic book writer that he is, probably has included or probably has written somewhere in the many, many books that man has written, what happens when Swamp Thing comes across weed. It's probably written in their answers on a postcard if it's happened. But Swamp Thing is ridiculously powerful. He is immortal. He can basically form anything into his hand. So if he uses axe, so he can clone himself multiple times.
Yeah.
He cannot be killed so long as there is a blade of grass left on the planet. He can grow a whole new body from that one blade of grass. Ridiculously powerful. The best way to make any kind of Swamp Thing show is what they did. They turned it into a horror show.
Yeah.
Because the Swamp Thing is creepy as fuck. In a dark, dim-lit swamp. What's that coming up behind me? Swamp Thing. Oh, indeed.
Have people investigate the Swamp Thing for the first kind of arc, the first 6 episodes of a 12 episode run, and they find out what they've been tracking is Swamp Thing. Yeah. But then they need Swamp Thing to help out with something else.
Yeah. And that's it could have been good. The rest of it, the first 2 episodes were fucking fantastic. The guy they got to play Hollis Mason. It is Hollis Mason. Or am I thinking somebody else? But fuck whoever it is. The guy that got to play Swamp Thing, he did the job well. And the sort of horror beats of the episode were really, really good. And it's a real fucking shame that if they decide to cancel it. They're also cancelling Supergirl. They're also cancelling Green Arrow, which is now in its last season. They're cancelling Legends of Tomorrow, which was cheesy, it was hokey, but it was just a good fun show.
Yeah.
It was something that I tuned in to watch for it was the first season that I started watching. I got it for £10 on Amazon. Wasn't expecting much. Binge watched the whole Blu-ray within about a weekend, and I thought, this was pretty good for £10. It's a lot of fun. It's just Brandon Ruth as the Atom being cheesy as fuck, and all the other characters. But it was a really good show. That's gone. I think Flash might be on its way out in exchange for Batwoman, which I'm not fucking happy about. I've got some gripes with that show, but that's another podcast. And Titans, which I was a huge fan of. I don't think that was going to be making a season 2. So far, it's only Doom Patrol, Batwoman, and Supergirl Supergirl might be staying on air, but it's looking like that's going to fuck off as well. When I look at these, I try to envision what the corporate strategy is, how this results in
big bucks profits.
I don't think there is one, right? I think they're just going, oh, duh, let's fucking do it. We got Melissa Benoist, let's put her in a Supergirl costume and see what happens, and we will make money and things. And then he just turns around and goes,
do you want to do any kind of marketing? Nope, just put it out there.
Nope, I got maracas.
I got maracas. And he just,
you gotta imagine the one guy that's making decisions for DC right now. He's just sitting there with one of those paddle balls, going, right, I got an idea. Shit, it's not working. Doing. You there, answer me. What do we do next? You didn't ask a question. I said answer me.
I demand answers. I'm an executive.
Don't make me get my maracas. He just starts shaking them before you tell me. You tell me.
You tell me how we make TV.
I won't put Supergirl on my pee-pee.
I saw a recent thing from Attack on Titan. It was Gigguk did an abridged one for season 1, and he just cuts the entirety of season 1 Attack on Titan down to 9 minutes.
Fuck it,
it's hilarious. It's so funny. Everything about it as a fan of Attack on Titan has been just hysterically funny. And it's just the cutaway at one point is the idea that Erwin, not Aaron, always has these master plans that work out in the end. Commander Erwin, the very tall blonde guy.
Oh, right, okay.
You might be thinking of Eren Yeager, the main character,
the main character.
But Commander Erwin always has these great ideas, and the idea that he is just dumb in the abridged version is amazing. At one point, he just says, "Commander, what are we going to do?" And he goes, "We're going to attack him with all we've got." And he says, "Half my squad's dead. Just another day in the survey corps." I could give a straight face. I fucking lost it. I forgot that he made the video and went back, because I'll go back and binge watch some anime YouTuber stuff, and just I fucking lost it. I just for the just another day in the survey corps.
That's pretty good, man.
Just another day in the DC executive branch.
Oh shit! Who let him back in?
He's
back in whose son is he? Oh shit! He's the director. But they're saying there's a new leadership in Warner Brothers.
Right.
The former director's now left under some weird allegations. The new director, can't remember her name. Her first name's Sarah. I know that much.
Yeah.
But she's coming in, and I'm hoping there's going to be a huge fucking shake-up. Just going, we are the most profitable when we get fans of the source material in to do shows, movies, video games. Let's keep fucking doing that.
Let's go find our fans and make them work for us.
Yeah, that's the best thing to do. I mean, it has worked stupendously well in the past, because if you look at Sonic Mania, that was just a group of guys who loved the game, made a game, and Sega went, no, you're going to make that, but we're going to give you the money to make it.
Yes.
You're going to give you assets, and it works well. The guys at Rocksteady, they make fucking awesome Batman games because they're fans of the source material and they understand the character. No one at DC who's making DC movies understands the character and knows how to pay respect to the source material, and that includes Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder does not know Batman. He
likes uber muscle Batman punching uber muscle Superman because it's a cool visual image.
It's a cool visual image, and it's just...
And he's so good at visual images.
Yeah, I mean, great cinematographer. 300 is just fucking littered with them all over the place. Sin City... Was Sin City Zack Snyder?
He was involved in it.
Yeah, I think he was somewhere in there. Funny enough, I think he might have been the cinematographer in there.
Yeah.
Because I know it was a Robert Rodriguez directed movie. I think Zack Snyder might have been a producer. But either way, he's fucking great at doing cinematography and visual imagery. But when it comes to story, he doesn't really get characters, because I watched a video with him and he basically said, "Oh, I've watched a couple of YouTube videos and they say Batman does kill." Batman doesn't fucking kill. Batman's the best character in DC when he's righteous and he is above everyone else.
Yeah.
Not when he's just, "Oh, I've got a heavy machine gun which I'm somehow holding with one hand effortlessly." I don't care if you are Batman, that's still going to be, you're going to have to bring that in to the bicep and just kind of cushion it on something.
If John Rambo has to cushion it and support himself properly, you have to support yourself properly. Batman ain't shit on John Rambo, which, by the way, is getting another film.
Oh, fucking why? Has Sylvester Stallone got a divorce settlement to pay off?
Yeah, maybe.
Has he got a mortgage on one of his several houses?
But don't worry, Dom. This time it's Rambo Last Blood, so they can't possibly make another film after this one.
They said that about Halloween. The Halloween was meant to wrap up everything, but apparently there's another one.
Yeah, not entirely sure I'm happy about the idea of a sequel in that Halloween world.
Nah, it's also in the same vein
totally
why I'm worried about Terminator Dark Fate.
Yeah, it totally undercuts the point of the Halloween movie to make another one. But the Terminator one as well, I'm like, oh boy.
It's the fact that they've partnered with every game on the planet, it seems like. Just to say, all right, Terminator is now playable in this game. It wouldn't surprise me if Terminator makes it. In fact, Terminator is coming to Mortal Kombat 11.
I was going to say, I think I've already seen him advertised for 11.
Motherfucker. Just stop it.
Yeah, I have
don't care
very
if you get
little...
Linda Hamilton and James Cameron back. Probably not going to be that good a movie.
I don't have faith in some of these old IP making returns.
Yeah, I mean, you're not a huge fan of the Aliens movies, or maybe you are. I'm not really sure.
I'm okay with them, yeah.
Did you watch Alien Covenant?
No.
It is hot trash.
Right.
It is fucking garbage. And Ridley Scott came back to direct that, but he's still jerking off this fucking Prometheus plotline that he made way back in the movie Prometheus. And it's just, the movie Prometheus was good if you distance it from anything aliens related. As its own movie about aliens, and if you say, if you had that movie and you said, oh, by the way, that was also set in the aliens world, about okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. That's maybe a different strain, but no, they're trying to link it into the main
canon,
whole
world, yeah.
And it's fucking bad. Alien Covenant was just another Michael Fassbender has a mortgage payment who's going to come and do this movie. It's just, one friend that I loaned the Blu-ray to described it as annoyingly mediocre.
Yeah,
it's not a great movie, but it's not utterly trash. Well, he thought it wasn't utterly trash. I think it's complete garbage because they try and recreate Alien, but just have the one alien, but it's not even a proper alien. It's a protomorph.
So you make something new for your prequel,
sequel
thing.
Ridley Scott keeps alluding to the xenomorphs in these prequel movies, but he never actually shows them.
Yeah,
and he keeps going, "Oh, I want to do this." He wants to show the various stages of evolution for the xenomorphs, but it's never just jump to here's the xenomorphs and here's what evolves into a xenomorph. Like, let's just show us the evolutionary path. Because a damn sight quicker.
If I remember correctly, a xenomorph bases its parent body on what it impregnates.
Yeah.
So what we've always seen is like xenomorphs who have infected people. So what happens when you get xenomorphs like Alien vs Predator? Maybe a bad example, but the Pred alien.
Yeah.
What happens if we get weird aliens, or what happens if we get them attacking the Prometheans or whatever?
Yeah, and that was, if they'd done something like that, again, it'd been cool. But then they showed off that wasn't the xenomorph. The xenomorph as we know it hasn't been shown yet in this new timeline that he's made.
Right.
It's just like you said, it would have been so much cooler if just that is the xenomorph, but that's it taking on a different form. Because the only other time we've seen it take on a different form is when the xenomorph attacks a dog.
Yeah.
And the facehugger attacks a dog, and the dog, hatches an alien, and it grows very quickly. It goes a couple seconds, it's fully grown, but it becomes more canine. It's quadruped.
Yeah.
And it takes on more canine qualities. That's pretty cool.
You want to make a scary fucking aliens movie? Have a facehugger attack a shark.
Oh yeah.
And just recreate Jaws with aliens.
Yeah, with a xenomorph alien. The scariest thing to do, the best way.
Because at the end you can have it appear on the land and just start walking about the place. You're like, oh fuck, walking shark alien monster. What the fuck do we do?
It's then going to breed with other shark.
Yeah.
Then we get more shark predator, more shark xenomorphs, which would have been cool. But
yeah.
I think the best thing to do for the Aliens franchise now is just leave it, let it die.
Let it sit, let it rest. Come back to it in like a decade if you want.
Yeah, because I realised this recently, of the original quadrilogy, there's only 2 good movies.
Yeah.
And that's Alien and Aliens.
Yeah, just number 1 and 2. And then the third one gets really fucking weird and didn't need to happen. So, and after that,
Charles Dance is in it.
Oh yeah.
He's the very, very soft-spoken prison surgeon or something, like prison doctor.
Yeah.
But that entire movie, everyone talks like this. No one raises their voice above this. This is as high as their voices go. And you're thinking, this is meant to be a horror movie and you're meant to be building suspense.
Yeah.
You're just pissing me off now. I mean, Ripley goes up and just saying, so what's our next move? I don't belong here. This is a prison for men. What am I doing here? And I'm just sitting there going, excuse me, ma'am, could you speak up a bit?
I can't hear you in the back. Could you speak up, please?
Which is, there's people in the back of the cinema that are thinking the speakers are broken. I can imagine several people said that when they unfortunately were dragged to go see Alien 3 in the cinema. Then Alien Resurrection, we won't even talk about. That was Joss Whedon's just shit session of a movie.
I can't remember if I've seen that or not. I'm sure I have, but at the same time, I don't care enough to remember it.
It was Joss Whedon making a Joss Whedon movie. All the female characters that were pretending to be badasses were overly, or just over the top and oddly sexual as well. Because one of Ripley's first lines in Alien Resurrection was, "Who do I got to fuck around here to get some orange juice?" or something along that lines. Like, Ellen Ripley ever say anything like that?
No.
In the first couple of movies, she's very subdued and very unsure of her surroundings, but she's rising to the occasion.
She's her own woman, but
yeah,
she wouldn't be that aggressive about the whole thing. No, that's a weird one.
It's complete steaming horseshit.
Speaking of garbage in the movies,
what's up?
I know you were want to talk about Dark Phoenix.
Oh yeah, did you know that I got pulled from several hundred movie theaters in America?
Fuck me, what did they do?
Because I was watching I watched an episode of Funhouse. I think it may have been a GTA 5 gameplay, and Alana Pierce just randomly said, "Oh, has anyone seen Dark Phoenix?" And they said, "Oh, I was going to go see it then," and she said, "Well, I wouldn't because it's been pulled from several hundred theaters." And I just thought, fucking hell, I was actually going to go and see that. I don't even think it might be in Falkirk Cinema at this point.
Jeez.
So my next Marvel film will be probably going to see Far From Home in a couple days time, actually. Next Tuesday it comes out.
Huh. I didn't, for some reason I'm really struggling to put the next release schedule thing in my head. I almost forgot that Toy Story 4 came out.
Oh yeah, that's actually at the Hippodrome.
Oh.
I'm taking the niece, my little 6-year-old niece, to go and see it.
Take the Bambino.
We got to the cinema, we get the cheaper popcorn.
Neat.
The meatball is rolled onto our white, the pence of peace.
So I forgot that was coming out, and then obviously Spider-Man Far From Home. I actually forgot Dark Phoenix was coming out as well.
Yeah, just as well.
Yeah.
It didn't look good.
I like Sophie Turner. I like seeing her and stuff.
I like Sophie Turner, but she's the worst Jean Grey I've ever seen. Most of her dialogue in, what was the last one she was in? Apocalypse was just, "I'm more powerful than you, you know. You heard me."
No, I didn't. Speak up.
She just sounds like a petulant child all the time. It's just like, "Oh, they're afraid of me. Could you emote a little bit, please?" Could you make... I mean, I guarantee if you made Jean Grey English for that, you would have got twice the emotional range out of her. But it's because she's forcing a horrible, horrible American accent that it breaks it a little bit.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any reason that Jean Grey needs to be the all-American girl.
No.
I don't think there's anything. It's not like Superman, where Superman has to be raised in Kansas.
Yes, I don't care what colour Superman is, but he has to be American.
Yeah.
Make him Hispanic. I don't give a fuck. Just make him American.
Yeah. With one exception, that time when he's raised in Russia. There's that
the
spin-off
Superman
one.
Red Sun book is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I could not recommend it to anyone highly enough. Fucking great book.
Can you imagine if the ultimate evil Russian czars found that Superman existed and was on their team? They'd be like, "Oh my god, we're gonna win the planet."
Yeah, you get plenty of that. You are honoured as such if that's what you want from a Russian Superman.
Yeah, I've been a bit off on Superman coming back, but then the superhero films, I'm kind of waiting. I'm waiting on them being interesting. I think Far From Home will be a good one. Although I'm a bit annoyed by them people "Oh my god, Mysterio is going to be a good guy," and "Oh my god, they're going to work together." I'm like, his special power is lying to people.
Yeah, his special power is illusion. He's a movie VFX artist.
Yeah.
He has no powers. But I guarantee what they're going to do is they're going to subvert expectations.
Yeah.
Like what they did with Captain Marvel. Which actually, thinking about it, I realised how much it annoyed me that they made the Skrulls good guys.
Really?
Because the Skrulls in the comics are one of the best villains there. They have the Super Skrull, they have the ability to just meld in, they are the ultimate spies and assassins. You cut off an entire movie essentially by making them evil. By making them good.
Yeah, but
you don't get Secret Invasion.
But I think we talked about this when we first talked about Captain Marvel, and my theory was, and it still is, that you basically would have to do another Infinity War level event to do Secret Invasion, and we just can't do that now.
Yeah,
we just don't have the time, money, and resources. These actors will not stay the same. They won't stay in contract long enough.
Yeah, I guarantee we will never get another Endgame like movie for a while. They might end the next series of movies with a big Endgame, but I guarantee we'll never see anything on the level of Endgame for a while.
Yeah.
The next Avengers movie, which I think has been called the New Avengers, which is the Spider-Man led Avengers.
Yeah. Which again, great idea, but
yeah, which is going to be a much subdued movie as compared to Endgame.
Yeah. Although it will require Tom Holland to shut his fucking mouth in interviews.
Oh yeah, I think he's been told several times by his own parents included. Apparently his parents got involved.
Could you imagine being told off by your mum for spoiling movies when you're the fucking star of the movie?
When you're Spider-Man, your mum's just going, "Stop spoiling the movie. The people that sign your paychecks are pissed off."
I found it very funny when they did the first set of trailers for Far From Home, and it was him telling people a warning for spoilers. I had them really, you're the guy saying this? It's a bit on the nose, mate.
It's ironic as fuck.
Yeah.
I hope that they don't do the whole thing. I hope they don't do another Captain Marvel thing where they say, "Oh, he's really the good guy." He's just out on his luck. No, make Mysterio the bad guy.
Yeah.
Don't try and subvert expectations. Steer into them.
Yeah, this whole like it's from another dimension. Again, make that a total lie, and it, like Mysterio is just trying to figure out how to beat Spider-Man for some reason.
Yeah. Oh, it's just he wants, because his original thing was he just wants fame. He wants to be the next Spider-Man. He even acts as Spider-Man for a bit in the comics.
Yeah.
He just wants to be Spider-Man, but then better than Spider-Man.
Does he not transfer his brain into Spider-Man's body or something
That's
like that?
Doc Ock.
Oh, that's Doc Ock.
And then you get a really good run of Spider-Man called Superior Spider-Man, where you get Doc Ock's ridiculously intelligent brain inside Peter Parker's superpowered body.
Yeah.
And it's fucking awesome. Because he's ruthless.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a fuck.
It's the thing of you have all of the power and none of the holdbacks. Like nothing's morally holding you back from just beating the shit out of that guy, leaving him in a wheelchair, and then just bye.
Just go, I'm going to transfer my consciousness again. Now you're crippled. Fuck you.
Later, nerds.
Octavius,
Octavius out this butch. Leaving you in a wheelchair, you're like, God damn it, he did it.
But Far From Home, I'm hoping they give us a little hint to a crossover with Venom. I just want to see Spider-Man in the black symbiote suit, man.
Yeah.
It's one of my favourite, in fact, no, not even one of my favourite arcs. My favourite arc of Spider-Man is when he gets the black suit.
The Venom stuff in general is always interesting because it does present, again, the idea of all of the power, none of the holdback. Venom's a parasitic alien monster. It doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. And I would like to have seen a fight between a symbiote suit, Peter Parker, and Tony Stark in the MCU. Because all that like Tony Stark's reason is he knows that Peter's powerful. He knows that he's ridiculously strong, but he needs to rein that power in. He needs to show him that he needs to be better than all the other people that use their powers for bad causes, because he's going to be the next Tony Stark.
Yeah.
If you go back and watch Homecoming, you go back and watch Civil War, you kind of see them laying the bricks for that.
Yeah.
So having Peter realise I'm stronger than you, and with the influence of the black suit, Tony try to rein him in, and he just gets fucking shit pushed in by Black Suit Spider-Man. That could have been pretty cool, but unfortunately, that dream gets sacrificed for the pretty awesome ending that we got in Endgame. So
yeah,
I can live with it. But
worth it.
Yeah, definitely worth it.
Definitely worth.
But I do kind of want to bring up something about Endgame, because I rewatched it recently. A friend of mine had never seen it, so I thought, fuck it, we'll go out. What are you doing now? Let's go and see Endgame. That kind of thing. Again, still a fucking stellar movie, but I have one problem with the Avengers females assemble bit.
Right.
A lot of people are saying that it's forced, and I'm now agreeing with them, but not because I'm like, oh, this forced feminism bullshit.
Yeah.
I agree with them because when you see the dudes fighting, you realise they're the first line of defence. It's not forced, like this whole forced masculinity bullshit, because that's the first line of defence against Thanos. They get their shit pushed in. Then it goes to the next line of defence, which is, Captain America, then all the people assemble. To stop the flow of the battle so much, to show Peter Parker landing on the ground with the gauntlet in his hand, and have all the females around him, and just smouldering for a couple of seconds into the camera before they continue the fight. It breaks the flow of the movie a little bit for me. It's
not that, it does take a little bit too long, and where I would have preferred to have it happen is that you get a first team of female Avengers jump in, like Captain Marvel says, hey, you got that for me? They take it, like 3 or 4 of them jump in, they take the ball down another, like the whole analogy of like pass the football, like they go 20 yards, 3 more jump in, 3 more jump in, like you build it, you escalate, you go, and you, by the end of it, you're like, oh my god, there was a lot of female superpower heroes in there. You don't need that big money shot of like all 20 of them. Yeah.
And from what I've seen online, a lot of women didn't like it. A lot of men were just, oh, well done. But a lot of women were just, nah, that was a bit too forced cheesy.
Bit forced feminism, you're not getting.
I think that's the better way of doing it. It's just have Captain Marvel flying through the base, and she just goes on the little mic that everyone seems to have. Yeah. Because at one point,
remember, half these people didn't exist like a couple like 20 minutes ago.
Doctor Strange used to just put, like, here, have all these earpieces that I found. Yeah. People died. I've got a lot of these things.
Welcome back to reality. You have an earbud. Like, wait, I just woke up from nothing. What are we doing here?
As Wong is opening up the sling ring portal, she's just going, here you go. Here you go. But the coolest...
There's like 3 monks just standing each gate.
Enjoy your flight. Enjoy your flight. Enjoy your flight.
Just packets of peanuts. Just earbuds.
Enjoy your complimentary earbuds. It will link you to every other Avenger. But the better way to do it is have Captain Marvel flying through and saying, I need some help, then have, Pepper swing in, grab the gauntlet, come into some resistance, hurl it down to Hope Van Dyne, she gets beat up a bit, Valkyrie throw the ball up and just show them in action instead of this whole stop, let's look into the camera, look fierce, and have Peter Parker in the back looking like he's got a surprise boner. It looks awkward because she's kind of going, oh, Captain Marvel's pretty.
I think
pretty woman.
Actually, the word you've used there, awkward, is the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
It's a little awkward and it takes the flow out of the film. So you could do it better, but I mean, you got the half points, I guess, for trying.
It doesn't. I mean, it's still a great scene. I'm not quibbling with it, but I think the better way to do it is don't show them just looking at the camera and looking, oh, we've got this. She's not alone. Just show them actually fighting.
Yeah.
And then the person I went to see it with got so annoyed because one of the Black Order got taken out by Okoye from the Dora Milaje.
Right.
The Danai Gurira's character with the spear. Like, oh, how can what the fuck's his name? Corvus Glaive is a guy, the kind of elf-looking dude. It's like, how the hell he's meant to be one of the strongest fighters on the planet, or the strongest fighters in the universe, and he gets taken out with some black chick and a spear. And I went, whoa,
buddy.
Because we're in public. And I was like, dude, you can't fucking say that.
Like, if you have a gripe with it, cool. But at the same time, dude,
there are women everywhere. Take it back before we get stabbed.
This is really hard to justify.
We cannot lie away with this one. But yeah, it was that kind of moment because the person who I went to see it with, never heard anything like that before. He went, yeah, probably it would have been cool if it was one of the dudes. I mean, how cool would it be if Vision killed him? I mean, Vision did kill him in the other movie.
Annihilate him from fucking space.
And Vision just stabbed him in the back when he was bleeding. The guy's clearly not that strong. And Okoye is a trained military general.
Yeah. She's a fucking machine.
Yeah, and she's fought with T'Challa before and beaten him.
Yeah, she's not screwing around. She's a professional at what she does. Yeah. What she does is beat the shit out of people. So yeah, it's a hard one to try and you were never gonna get it all the way right, but still like Endgame is right there. And
no, Endgame was just ridiculously good cover to cover, and that's the only thing. It's not so much a gripe. I just think it could have been done better. If you want to showcase all the very badass and very strong female characters in Endgame, there was a better way to do it, and that better way to do it would have included Black Widow, because I realised they'd done her horribly. They killed her before the big female empowerment scene.
But the thing is that she's gone, and that's when I was talking about it originally. I say they put that scene in there to remind you there's a reason to stay around after the initial female Avenger is dead.
Yeah,
it's not to do with she gets done pretty dirty over the whole film.
Yeah. And maybe it's just to show that her legacy continues.
Yeah,
because she kept this whole shit together.
Yeah, and she reminds everyone, including I think when you remember as well, her main point of contact with off-world people during the 5 years after the snap is Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel being the one to kind of carry the gauntlet forward. I mean, you could make the argument that she's carrying forward Black Widow's legacy. Yeah, in a way that she was trying to. Well, Black Widow's trying to prevent the damage Thanos did, and therefore so is Cap Marvel. Yeah, but it's never really put on the surface. Like, it's not close enough to the surface to say that's the reason why they did it. It's all you've all just got to kind of read into things a bit too much.
Although I still think that Black Widow's solo movie might not be a prequel. I think it might be set in the future.
Ooh.
I think it might be an alternate universe. What the fuck is Black Widow's real name?
Natasha Romanoff.
What the fuck? How did I space on that?
I don't know.
we spoke about nothing but Avengers for the past couple months, and I fucking forgot her name. Jesus Christ!
Every now and again, something just leaves your brain, and you try and grasp it, and you're like, "Oh God, it's not there anymore in any capacity."
Fuck. What is Daredevil's real name? Like that kind of shit. But yeah,
Clark Kent. Dom stopped. Dom physically stopped.
I was trying to think of another funny name.
It's like a slap Dom in the face. He was like, "What did you just do to me?"
No, I was trying to think of another funny name, like a female's name or something. But they'll just it's Kate, and that's what it is. Okay. Natalie Romanoff. I think they're either going to do it a separate universe, or that's just going to be Natalie Romanoff from the future that she's come back through science magic or something.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm probably going to go see it because it'd be cool to see Black Widow's solo movie, because her backstory is probably one of the cooler backstories for the Marvel characters.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas obviously you've got Tony Stark, whose backstory is he was weapons dealer turned superhero trapped in a cave. Thor, he was always just superpower. It's cool to see one that's maybe not a bit virtuous. Yeah, because she was a criminal. She's
in the grey scale of she started bad. She is working her way towards good and being selfish or being selfless. And becoming a better person, and then she's existed in this grey space.
And we might finally get to know what happened in Budapest, because for 3 movies they've talked about Hawkeye and Black Widow have spoken about Budapest.
Yeah,
and they've never revealed what happened. I want to know what happened in Budapest. Tell me, motherfuckers.
It's called fucking. They got down to some fucking.
Oh, she's sterile. She can have no babies.
Doesn't mean you can't fuck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's no drawbacks.
Yeah, frankly, you might as well. Yeah,
Answer why not?
Yeah.
God damn, that woman's good looking. It's ridiculous. Man. Start fanning myself.
Good Lord, getting the vapors.
I do declare.
Actually, fanning yourself right now.
Yeah,
we were talking
it's
about the heat.
fucking warm.
I've sealed every day before we do these podcasts. I seal up the room and we just record in the stank that follows.
At this point, I'm willing to trade ambient noise outside for just cool breezes.
Just a waft. Just
a little bit of cool air.
Yeah.
I'm not built for the heat, man. Anyway.
Yeah. So now that we've done the usual kind of not really trying to talk about DC or Marvel for an hour, but then doing it anyway.
I think it might just be a segment at this point.
Yeah. What are we thinking this week about DC and Marvel?
This
that
week
we haven't
in
expressed?
comic books.
Yeah. I want to talk about gaming for a bit because I have been obsessed with 7 Days to Die.
7 Days to Die.
7 Days to Die is zombie survival simulator type thing. It was released on kind of like early access, like it's one of the first games at the door with that type of branding, and it's now up to Alpha 17.
Alright.
Holy shit, I am just hooked on this game. I was playing it till 4 in the morning the other day.
Jesus Christ.
And I realised what the time was, and I'm like, I just spent 4 hours digging a fucking hole in a video game. What am I doing with my life? I don't care anymore. I'm going to bed. And just like retreated back into my bed, just collapsed face down and woke up like 4 hours later, just ready to go again.
Yeah.
And again, the first thing I did was load up the fucking game.
Play it again.
It's not great. It's like graphically it's pretty good. If you take your computer, just crank the settings up to high and then just hope the fan isn't too loud. I can't stream it because it's the strain it puts on the computer is absurd. I mean, it's sitting on it's not on my hard drive, it's on like a solid state drive.
Alright.
But the amount of loading it takes on a solid state drive is absurd. I'm watching the game load and I will go away, make myself something to eat and come back and it will just finish like loading the world because it renders the entire world in one instance.
Oh, fucking hell. That's probably going to take a lot.
Although I fucked up. It turns out there are radiation areas to block off the end of the map. I wasn't really paying attention because I was watching an episode of Fate Zero.
Okay.
And I don't want to start ranting about that show. But
in a good way or a bad way?
I can't really decide, that's the problem. It has its moments.
I've heard from a lot of people, a lot of good friends, that they just jerk that show off. They fucking love it.
The Fate Zero is the best one in the series so far. But anyway,
it's still not good enough.
Wasn't really paying attention and decided to just go for a little ride. I found a way to make a bike, and if I can get all the stuff I needed to make the tires, the bike has totally changed the game for me because I can go further, go faster, and not like have to run, like actually outrun zombies, which is hilarious when you're like, I'm gonna make it. Wait, are they still following me? You turn around, there's a horde of like 10 of them in a conga line, like, and you've like realised you've broken your foot, so you have to hobble your way along. And the bike was a game changer for me. But I was riding on the bike, I was half paying attention to the episode of Fate Zero, and I was half paying attention to the game. I didn't notice I'd slipped into one of the radiation zones, and I started to panic and just was trying to turn right to return back the way I'd came. The only problem is that I was turning right and going down the wrong street, so I was just going further into the radiation zone. I was getting attacked by zombies at the same time, so my health bar just shrank immediately, and I physically cannot get to my bag. And my bag had my good pistol, my good hunting rifle, all the ammo I had, a good like compound bow, plenty of iron arrows. It had all my good shit in it, and this was like immediately after I defended against a horde, so I was still stocked and ready to go. Like, I'm ready for a riot.
Yeah, you're ready to fight.
And I lost it all. And I'd made one attempt to get it back, and I realised if I'm running, I have physically just enough time to touch my bag before I die from radiation poisoning, and I cannot heal myself while I'm being radiated.
Can you not get a rad suit or something? Radiation?
There is,
shielding?
but because the radiation zones are designed to signify like the end of the map, they don't do much because they don't want you put on a rad suit and then just continuously running.
Ah, right, yeah, it's probably a good way to kind of cap off the game. But what's it called? 7 days to
7 days to die, and every 7 days it's basically zombie survival. But you'll find like ambient zombies randomly throughout
just
the first 6 days. And you'll get occasionally attacked by groups. I at one point had a squad of 10 army zombies show up and wreck my fucking shit. They punched a hole through my outer like cobblestone wall, ran through all my defenses, punched a hole in the side of the building I'd like taken over as my compound, and then punched a hole through the other side to chase me out the wall. Like, they just chased me through the building, not by going around the building, but by just punching through the building. I fucking shit myself because I didn't expect it. I just heard like a zombie make a noise behind me, turn around, and there's like 10 zombies swinging their fists, punching through a wall to come and get me. I was like, what the fuck? I just started like arrowing them in the face for no, like, I completely panicked because I'd never seen them do anything like that. But they came in like such a strategic fashion. It was really weird that they're all wearing these military uniforms and they just were so strategic about how they approached my fort of solitude in a way. So I've spent the last couple days rebuilding my defenses.
Alright.
I don't know what my gameplay hours are like. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be at least, say 50 hours
Jesus.
in the last couple of weeks. I love it. I still enjoy it. I enjoy it. It's a very good mechanical game. But at the same time, holy shit, I am sinking time into this. I almost don't have...
So I always love it when you find a game that you just want to play that much that you sink 50 hours in very quick. You almost sink 2 full days worth of... Just over 2 full days worth of time into this game. But when you're older and you've got either a job to find or a job to do in the morning, you almost just think, I can't waste my day playing video games. You're gonna, but you think, I can't do this.
A part of you thinks, I should really do something about the rest of my life. Or I could build more wooden spikes.
Yeah,
I mean, the wooden spikes are easier.
I mean, I could clean my actual home, or I could build my home in this game with better defenses.
And that's the problem for me, is that this is going to be the same as Minecraft. It's not that I give a shit about the game. There's nothing interesting really as far as like story wise going on. There's almost no story. It's just I'm being given a sandbox and I am allowed to do what I want in that sandbox, provided I can find resources. And I've started to focus more on farming rather than like scavenging, because there's only so much you can do scavenging. But if you learn how to farm in the game, you can like save yourself so much time and hassle. For example, I now just grow my own forests rather than going like I took everything out of the area for like a couple hundred yards. Every tree, every boulder, every like stub of a rock or whatever, anything that was there, ripped the fuck out the ground, and now I have a nice big killing field that I can like snipe on. But every couple of days I'll go in and just drop trees, wait a couple of days for them to grow, then harvest them all again and make more spike traps.
Nice.
And I have potato farms. I have a mighty potato farm.
Mighty potato farm.
Mighty is actually the phrase for it. I generate about 240 potatoes every 3 days.
Jesus Christ. You could sell those potatoes.
I could sell those potatoes.
start a business in the game.
There is actually a trader that you can use, and I will actually go and see how much I can sell a potato for. I can go
what
to
do you
him.
do if potatoes are a luxury commodity in the game? You get 20 in-game credits for one potato.
Well, I would buy every repair kit possible, and therefore I can keep my level 4 hunting rifle, because it's got a monster scope on it, and I can see people from across the fucking map and just body them.
Do you need to worry about other players in this game?
I could have other players join me. I'm tempted to
can other people come and ransack your building?
It's offline.
Offline, right?
It's offline. You can have an online server. I've got mine set to online friends only, so I can have friends join me, and they can come fuck up my shit, or they can help me. I think friendly fire's on. I don't know.
Alright.
I'm pretty sure I can fuck up people, but I'm not entirely sure on that one. I'll do some digging. There's a lot of stuff. Because it's a mechanical based game, I spend time digging in what I need to do to get things working. The only thing is Alpha 17 just came out. And people are finding out stuff and going, oh my god, this doesn't work anymore. And I'm like, shit, that was my entire strategy.
What to do if potatoes just become the ingredient for making the zombie toxin or whatever it is? You've just created a field full of radiation and zombies.
There was one of the main strategies to just drop the zombies on their heads. Like, just let the zombies fall and you'll win. The only thing is Alpha 17 seems to have fixed that by reducing zombie damage to like a third of what it should be. So you could have to drop them 20 blocks down to kill them. I have just built, because I was like, I dug a hole till like 4 a.m. That was why I was digging a hole to drop zombies in. Because I have my little fort. I'm going to stay up there on the like zombie apocalypse nights and just let them run up to try and get me, and then just drop straight down. And that's a good plan. Should work in theory, but I don't know how well it's going to work, since they've patched it to apparently stop zombies from taking fall damage. Although it turns out there's bears in the game. I got my shit
Zombie
pushed
bears?
in. Yeah, actually they are.
Ah, fuck.
I thought they were normal bears, and I was like, okay, I'll just shoot it in the head. Yeah, zombie bear. You can see like exposed ribs and stuff.
No man should have to deal with a zombie bear.
Oh, I got my shit pushed in like hard. I was making a journey out, got killed, by a zombie. I was like, oh my god, what the fuck was that? I hit like a truck, and I put 12 arrows in its head, didn't even flinch. My respawn point was for some reason it stopped working, because normally you can spawn in your bed, which is in my base. I was like, that's fine, if I spawn there I can run back out, grab my shit and run back, or I can come back with a gun, shoot it in the face with a gun as opposed to bow and arrow, and then that'll solve all the problems. It turns out my respawn point being blocked meant it randomly respawned me the other side of the bear. It was like my house here in the middle, my kill point was to the northwest, and then I was even further northwest, so I'd have to run past my own rotting corpse, grabbing the shit as I go, and run away from the bear, which it turns out you just can't do. So I got my shit pushed in again.
People assume that you see a big weight heavy bear, just no, it can run faster than you. I always hated doing shit like that, particularly in talking about games where you had to avoid shit. Breath of the Wild is one that springs to mind. You have to fight these giant spider robots called Guardians, and they can fuck you up early game. They have the perfect enemy theme because it's anxiety ridden throughout the entire music. It makes you shit yourself, but the minute that thing sees you, it can just get up to you quick and just start firing lasers at your face and kill you fucking instantly.
I think I've seen those ones.
They're fucking nightmarish. Early game, mid to end game, you're just walking up to them going, come here motherfucker, I need some ancient springs to make a sword, and you just fuck them up. But I remember I was going from one town trying to get to another dungeon, and I kept dying because I had to cross one of these guardians, and every time I died it respawned me behind the guardian, and it wouldn't let me go around them, so I had to cut the widest berth across the map and round them to get back to the the dungeon. I just thought, motherfucker, I'm coming back here with some ancient arrows and a powered up bow, and I'm just going to fucking kill this thing.
I love when I get spiteful. Like if I ever get to the
when
point
you
where
get a powered up weapon, you're just like, oh, come here, motherfucker.
I found a shotgun. I've had a really good shotgun in 7 days to die, and immediately proceeded to use it on everything in a 5-mile radius. I had like 68 shotgun shells. I'm like, I'm only going to use 30 of these, but it's going to be the best 30 shotgun shells I ever use in my life.
Enjoy every single one of these kills.
I walked through. I actually found a shop in the game and was like going through checking all the stuff, and made my way outside, climbed up to the top. Turns out there was a small zombie horde just hanging out on the roof for no reason.
Yeah.
And then climbed my way back down, utterly exhausted. Like, oh my god, I can't believe I survived that. I should have fallen off. Like I was running around on the edge of the roof, like to give myself as much space possible, like this close to falling off and killing myself every time I took a step. But I found a shotgun on the way down because there was like a suitcase on the vent, and I was like, that's weird. What's in the suitcase? Shotgun, motherfucker.
You just go, I was running away, but I'm going back up fucking now.
Well, it was I dealt with everything in the building. I was like, oh man, I'm not going to use the shotgun. I'll find some random zombie on the way home. Turns out a horde just showed up out of nowhere, like 20 of them, and they all started like smashing their way into the building to come and get to me because they'd heard me running around on the roof.
They heard you making noise.
Didn't expect the shotgun though. It was so much fun. Like they were climbing their way up the stairs, and I just stood at the top of the stairs going bang, 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 bang. One of them made it through, and I just like, I'll just take 3 steps back, and oh what a surprise, bang. Fucking amazing. I love how it gets really gory. Like I've put points into popping people's heads.
Nice. So
there's one just called boom explosion. I just every time I hit an arrow, there's like a 1 in 10 chance that I just pop their heads. But with a shotgun, it becomes 1 in 1, and I'm clicking on the head.
It becomes 100% certainty.
Yeah. So I left a lot of headless corpses just in the middle of a room, and I'm working on making my own bullet shells as well in the game. So once I get the ability to make my own shotgun shells, we're gonna make some mess, let's just say.
You're just gonna go about and murder anything that gets in your way.
I was gonna basically deconstruct all of my little traps and stuff and just stand there with a shotgun at the top of the stairs. Bang, 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 bang.
Just get a rocking chair and wait for them to get to you. I've been waiting on you, boy.
With this accent. Howdy. We got ourselves a little disagreement here.
You poke your hat up with the shotgun, just going, you took your time, boy. I like the way you die, boy.
What took you so long? My brother found himself a barbecue guy on YouTube.
All right.
Like a proper southern boy with the barbecue sauce. He's just like lather and sauce on and stuff. But he's got the best southern accent in the planet. I'll have to send you a link because he's really good. He knows his shit as well. Like he's a competition barbecue guy.
Yeah.
So when he talks about stuff, you look at him and go, "You motherfucker, you judged me."
I wasn't hungry now. Yeah. I wasn't hungry before, but I am now.
My brother made the mistake of watching it 10 minutes before dinner, and it's like, dude, Mum's making dinner right now, but it's like, yeah, but he's got like another video there and it looks kind of good and he's making ribs. And I'm like, throw it on.
Watch it. If it's ribs, you gotta watch it.
I just, like, you just watching it, you're like, this is food porn.
Yeah.
God, it's good.
But you were talking about how you found the shotgun in 7 Days to Die. Reminds me of what happened in the game that I'm playing through just now, which is Borderlands 2, because they announced the final DLC for that game, Commander Lilith in the Fight for Sanctuary.
Which is impressive, because Borderlands 2 came out, 6 years ago?
About 6 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
I bought it day one on Xbox 360, so that was a while ago.
Holy shit.
But I've been playing it again on the PS4. Me and my brother have been working my way through the DLC, and I seem to have an ability to break the probability and get legendary weapons first time.
Nice.
I don't know if they've just lowered the probability. In fact, the likely answer is they've just lowered the probability for getting legendaries. Instead of it being a 1 in 5% chance, maybe they've boosted it to a 1 in 30% chance.
Yeah.
But every time I go and fight an enemy that can drop a legendary weapon, it does drop a legendary weapon. So my entire loadout is... they have these new guns called effervescent guns, which are these rainbow stripy guns that deal ridiculous damage.
Right.
So I have 2 of those and 2 legendary weapons, with another 4 legendary weapons in my backpack. I'm just going, I used 3 of these because I've went the siren.
Yeah.
And I've put all of our skills into pistol damage.
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting there popping heads with this magnum that I've found that deals 300 fire damage. I'm just sitting there going, die.
Got you in the face, got you in the face, got you in the face.
And because every time I use my action skill, phase lock,
Yeah.
I send out these health orbs. And they
right.
heal me, and if I'm playing with my brother, you heal him if he's got damage. So I really don't need that much health. And also, if who I'm playing the game with, they get low in health, I can just shoot them and heal them. It's fucking awesome.
The Borderlands series had a real... I don't know if we've got a problem. It's like one of the things. Is it a bug or is it a feature?
It has a problem now.
Well,
We'll get on to that.
It's to do with, like, their broken builds are so broken. Like, you can become unstoppable.
Yeah, if you play Axton the Commando in Borderlands 2, you can get 2 turrets with 4 sub-turrets on each turret, and those 4 sub-turrets fire each element.
Yeah.
So you can have fire, corrosive, lightning, and slag damage, and that just fucking destroys everything that gets in front of you. And if you build it right, they can have shields and replenish your personal shield and health.
Yeah.
And with the siren, it gets even worse because you can just control the battlefield. You can throw out an orb of slag energy that just zaps every enemy that gets in its way.
But what was you said it's got a problem. What is the problem?
The problem is how the Gearbox team have been... Is it Gearbox?
Yes, Gearbox.
Yeah, Gearbox and 2K have been dealing with people's departures because there seems to be a bit of shade thrown at the old voice actor for Claptrap, a guy named David Eddings. Don't know if you've seen this. But if you do the quest line for Claptrap in Borderlands 2, Commander Lilith and the Fight for Sanctuary, he says his mission's all about finding cryptocurrency.
Mm.
He said, I'm starting my own business, and you're already thinking, right, you're already kind of taking a little jab at the old voice actor for leaving. But at the end of it, he says, oh, well, this didn't work. I'm going to have to go crawling back to my old employers on my hands and knees and begging for my job back. And I just thought,
wow,
that is petty as fuck. Randy Bitchford, calm down.
That is some fucking shade, boy.
If it is, I mean, it could just be a casual little jab, but I guarantee they meant that, because Randy Pitchford is swinging for the fences. Because they cut out, there's a character from Tales of the Borderlands, the Telltale game, called Reese,
right,
who's playing a pivotal role in Borderlands 3.
Yeah.
And he was voiced by Troy Baker in the Telltale game, but he's not voiced by Troy Baker in 3. And a lot of people, including Troy Baker himself, are very pissed off at that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the mission thing, like, that initial joke, like, oh, I'm going to go away and mine Bitcoin or whatever, like, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's a little joke, that's a little jab. When you say, I'm going to have to come back crawling on my hands and knees to my former employer, I'm like, dude, that's a bitchy move. Like, that's a real bitchy thing to say.
But Randy Pitchford is definitely, what's the word? It's not falling on his sword. He's definitely sticking to his guns and saying, no, David Eddings, he left and he was violent, he was aggressive to people, he wasn't a pleasant person to work with. And obviously David Eddings is rebutting it with, Randy Pitchford wasn't a good guy to work with. We also had deadlines, we all have crunch stuff to do. And it's becoming this really, really vitriolic back and forward between the two of them, and it's just getting really, really nasty. To the point where you're just thinking, people aren't going to buy Borderlands 3 and experience how good a game that will be because you're being a cunt towards one of your former employees. Yeah. 2 of your former employees, if you include the ongoing beef with Troy Baker. Yeah. Because Troy Baker is throwing some shade at those mofos.
He's of all the people, like, if you mess with like David Eddings, like, nobody's really, oh, it's the Claptrap guy, like, yeah, sure, there's beef there, but Troy Baker's getting, like, he's becoming more powerful as an individual.
I think him and Nolan North may be the most famous and successful male voice actors of this generation.
Yeah, obviously of this generation, yes. In general, Mark Hamill's still around.
Yeah, Mark Hamill's still around, but he's in nowhere near the amount of things that Nolan North and Troy Baker are in.
Yeah,
I don't own any video game that they're not in for the past couple of years.
Yeah,
they're in everything.
Ubiquitous as fuck.
Yeah, but when they're good at their job, they're going to get hired. So,
who was I was just thinking about Mark Hamill. I've seen a trailer for a thing called Nightfall. Have you seen this thing?
Yeah,
It's
it was on
produced by the History Channel. Yeah,
yeah,
and it's him as like.
It's on Netflix.
Is it on Netflix as well?
On Netflix.
Interesting.
Yeah, it might be worth a watch to hear Mark Hamill putting on an English accent and pretending to be a what do you call a person who trains knights? It's not a quartermaster. Quartermaster is someone who stores the weapons.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what you would call somebody like that. Somebody who would train knights in combat and stuff. Sword master? I don't know.
Master, so sword master sounds about right.
He's the guy in charge.
Yeah, he's the staff sergeant.
Yeah, he's the guy yelling at everyone to get their shit together and stop being pussies and go stab people in the face.
Do what I say.
Yeah, I saw because I saw the trailer for it and I was like, I wonder if that's any good because the trailer looked okay.
Yeah.
And my dad goes, it's okay. It's like 50 minutes people talking and then 3 minutes of them stabbing each other, and you gotta get to the stabbing for it to be good. But he said it was okay. It was like I went up yesterday. It was my dad's birthday, and we were just shooting the shit for like 10 hours or something like that, just talking about random crap with me, my brothers, my mum, and all that.
Nice.
Just absolute fucking nonsense going on, and now and all of a sudden it's like, why has Mark Hamill got a sword? I don't know what's going on. Dad's like, not bad.
Well, Mark Hamill is Chucky now.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it's going to be weird to see Aubrey Plaza, who I've seen be the awkward teenager / younger member of the cast in Parks and Recreation.
Mm-hmm.
Then I've seen her play the awkward teenager in Scott Pilgrim. It's going to be weird seeing her as the mother role in Child's Play, which is going to be very weird.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to break the movie, but at the same time I'm just thinking you're way too young to be playing those kind of roles, even though she's about 35.
Yeah, she it is now time for her to be a mother.
Yeah, it was who was the singer, the Gomez woman? What was her first S something?
I have no.
The Gomez
idea.
woman. She's a singer. There was a horror film. I was
the famous Gomez woman.
The Gomez woman. They're Gomez woman. She was a very young looking singer, now actress. She was in a horror film as a mother. I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah.
Unless you're going for that aesthetic where she's a young mother, sure I could believe that, but she looks too young to be playing that mother role. It was kind of like if you seen, there was a film where Jennifer Lawrence played somebody's mother. Are you really at that point to be playing the mother role? You look about 28.
Yeah.
You look very young.
You're very young, mum. Oh yeah, she played that. It was the Inventor one where she was playing this like a housewife, and you're like, but you're Jennifer Lawrence, like you're clearly in your early 20s.
Yeah.
Bored housewife doesn't quite gel.
Well, then again, from what I've heard from people who watched X-Men Dark Phoenix, bored housewife is how she plays Mystique.
Yeah, she's been bored of that role for years though.
They must be throwing some shekels her way to get her to come back. I don't know why she does.
It's a dump truck of money. Just do you want to play Mystique?
Here's 18 million for 1 hour. Get recording.
Yeah, we will pay you for your time putting on the fucking blue suit.
Yeah, listen, I still kind of want to see Dark Phoenix just to see how bad it
again.
is.
We're going back into DC.
I just cannot. Marvel, but
we're going back into DC Marvel talk.
I still kind of want to see just to see the train wreck because I've enjoyed the X-Men movies up till this point, so I may as well see them just to cap it off. I mean, there's been some real shiters in there. Yeah. But
speaking of things we were gonna watch, I sent you a text saying I was gonna try and rush through Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix now. It's got its redub, and I've seen people going, "Oh my god, they've changed things in the subtitles." I'm like, "Oh my god, I don't give a fuck. Shut up."
Yeah, people were really not happy with the.
Well, they changed "I like
redub.
I love you" to "I like you" on subtitles. It's like, oh, but that means so much. I'm like, you can still just read into it a bit too much and get over it.
Yeah. Does changing one word really affect anything?
It will. It'll affect some fucking butthurt person.
Who gives a fuck?
I mean, I'm just gonna go watch.
The whole dub pissed people off. Voice actors included.
Well, the fact that they redubbed it, and it's like they don't owe you they don't owe you that to reuse your voice. They're buying the license; they can do with it what they want.
Yeah. And
it's like they've gotten. I seen one of the voice actors down there was Clifford Chapin, who is one of the Funimation guys. He voices Bakugo in My Hero Academia. It's his biggest role, I'd say, so far. He also is voicing what's his name? In the Dragon Ball Super, the Tournament of Power, where they have the different universes. He's one of the Saiyans in that. So of that weird kind of relationship of them being Bakugo. Yeah, like one of the other universe Saiyans.
Oh, Kaba.
Yeah, Kaba.
I was going to say the other two Saiyans are female.
Yeah, but he voices
Kaba, right?
So he has the weird dynamic of being mentored by Chris Sabat's characters in both shows. It's a really weird dynamic, and they keep making jokes about it on Twitter, and it makes me fucking laugh.
That's pretty cool.
But he's one of the ADR directors for Funimation, and he is going over to work on he did the voice for one of the characters in Neon Genesis Evangelion, and I'm like, that's good. Like, I'm really happy he got to be a part of that, because it's, as much as it'll be controversial, I guarantee you, after the fucking butthurt fans shut up and sit down, they'll, it'll just become an interesting interpretation. Because that's the problem with the Neon Genesis Evangelion stuff, is it's impossible to get legally. And if you want to support anime, you want to watch it legally, you can't watch Neon Genesis without watching it on Netflix now.
Unless you get the Blu-rays, but even that, the Blu-rays are kind of hard to come by.
The Blu-rays are expensive. It's like 150 to 200 quid to get them, and you're getting them from Japan. So there's no guarantee you getting a dub version as well.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure I've seen them from Japan.
I've got a few friends that have got the...
Well, now, I'm talking like if you try and buy them now,
you can buy the Blu-ray movies that are like 1.11, 2.22, 3.33.
That's just the movies though, that's not the series.
Isn't that a retelling of the series?
It's recut and it misses out a bunch of stuff.
Right, yeah. So it's kind of like the Berserk movies.
Yeah. It is exactly like that. But yeah, there's the 1.1, 2.2 and 3.3, and then there's the end of Evangelion, but they've redubbed the whole thing.
Really?
And
so
it's up on
the
Netflix.
Whole full Buna series?
The whole series and then the movie at the end. So
how many episodes is that?
I can't remember.
I was going to say, if you were going to binge it, that must be... No, it can't be that many. Unless you had just 2 days off and you were going to watch the full thing.
When it comes to anime, I'm basically a serial killer. I cannot stop. If I start, I do not stop. I don't have to tell you this, but the 222 episodes of Fairy Tail's first couple seasons in 2 weeks.
Jesus.
Yeah.
222 episodes?
Yes.
I'm not really caring. I mean, I fully expect... I'm still binge watching all of Preacher right now because there's nothing else to watch.
Yeah.
Until Stranger Things Season 3 comes out.
Yeah.
But I watched all of Preacher, all 3 seasons in about 2 days. And that's about 40 odd episodes.
Yeah.
I feel no shame.
If you can commit to it, you can just go through it a lot more than you think you can.
Yeah, but 222 episodes, that's
some time
feat.
off. Yeah.
I'm not saying, oh, you're fucking disgusting, there's something wrong with you. That's impressive.
I came in, I told the IT guy, it was like, you shouldn't have done that. And I'm like, I don't care. I did it anyway.
You know what to do, Dad.
You can't tell what I'm going to watch anime in my bedroom. Me.
I'm going to turn the lights off and I'm going to strain my eyes.
Yeah. I'm going to sit this close to the TV.
That was always my parents' big thing. They're like, we don't care that you're upstairs watching weird Japanese cartoons, but turn the light on, you will wear glasses. You will have to wear glasses at one point. Turns out
you were wearing glasses anyway.
Yeah.
But there's this thing. I'm gonna try and watch it for next week. I've been too busy and I have had no chance to sit down and actually watch it. So your homework, kids, for next time we record is to watch Neon Genesis Evangelion and the movie, including the part where he wanks into his own hand. I had that spoiled for me. Somebody was like,
what?
They're gonna at one point he jerks himself off, and they show the jizz on his own hand, and I'm like, what the fuck are you telling me this for?
Hideki, you're a weird fucker.
I know, he's so... It was dealing with depression at the time. Like, apparently, he was just starting, like, therapy for depression as he was making what turns out to be, like, one of the most seminal anime TV shows of all time.
I mean, it's weird as fuck, man.
It's weirder when you understand the context of what he's jerking off to. It's a lot worse than that. We're not going to talk about it on here. We'll talk about it next time.
I mean, I'm probably going to watch it, but there's someone else in my family that wants to watch it first, so I'm going to let them either watch it with them or let them watch it first.
Wait, did someone call dibs?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, I don't like Evangelion. I've never got into the premise of the show.
I've heard the hype, and
I've watched the movies, and I spent most of it just going, Shinji, why do I give a fuck about you as a character? You are a waste of space. Get out of the way.
Get in the robot. Literally, get in the
Shinji,
fucking robot.
Get in the fucking robot. But for me, it was more, Shinji, get out the fucking way. There's other people that can pilot that robot.
Yeah.
I get that you're the chosen one or whatever it is. The chosen Juan.
Yeah.
But just get out of the fucking way.
I do. Share or get off the pot.
Yeah, share or get off the pot, motherfucker.
So yeah, that'll be next week. I've been
Lame ass
doing
bitch.
I've been doing prep for it though. I've went through like a weird phase of not like ultra emotional stuff, but
I
stuff
thought we
that's
were
a
going to talk
little.
about Ultraman there. Just
No,
mention
no, no.
Ultra.
Season
getting
2,
season 2.
that's coming soon. I think.
I can wait.
I can't. I kind of want to see more now. I don't know what it is. I'm up for it.
I want to make that a t-shirt. It's just, oh boy, season 2. I can wait.
Oh boy, season 2. Yeah.
Just not even the same level of enthusiasm. Just, oh boy, season 2. I can wait.
Just italics on everything. I want to see. But I've watched. Do you know the anime Spice and Wolf?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
It's really good. I heard about it from like everyone when we were growing up, and then I'd seen it recommended like 1,000 times online, and just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it."
Yeah.
Bought
I
the
constantly
DVDs and stuff.
confuse Spice and Wolf with Lone Wolf and Cub.
Yeah.
Because you know, Lone Wolf and Cub is a very, very highly praised manga. I don't know if it's an anime.
I think it's making its way to anime.
I think it might already be, but I've heard a lot of good things about Lone Wolf and Cub. And the few times I've looked into it, I found, was it Spice and Wolf?
Spice and Wolf, yeah.
Yeah, but I've never really looked into it.
It's such a good show because it's mostly because of Hollow. The main guy is kind of irrelevant, but I mean he's his own character, and you can see it's all about economics, and he's the trader, so it centers around him. But it's her being the wise wolf, and just her being so haughty and arrogant. At the same time, like, you love her. Every second that she's on screen, you're like, this is a moment I will cherish. And the idea of there not being a season 3 kind of fills me with a bit of fear, because it's now well past its prime. Like, we're now, if it did another one, it'd be like, oh, this.
When did it come out?
I think it was 2001.
Right,
2001, 2006.
It's past its zenith.
Yeah, so it's not going to be like the hot new release that they're bringing back. If it comes back, it'll be like surprise fans, and we're like, oh my god, we're actually surprised you did this thing.
The same level of surprise I got from seeing Panzer Dragoon being announced on the Switch during Nintendo's conference.
But apparently the manga's really good, and it's it's the same kind of character interactions. I will just need to carry over the voice actress into like the reading of it. Like, I'll need to keep using her voice, like hearing her voice when Hollow speaks, because the dub actress is phenomenal. I need to find a name.
Do you have her name?
I can find it really quickly.
Because there was something I wanted to. I suppose you wouldn't really know about this unless you've. Are you a fan of Terry Pratchett at all?
Not really, no.
Alright, have you. I don't suppose you've seen anything about the new series on Amazon Prime, Good Omens?
I did hear about the thing with Netflix offering to cancel the show if
the Christians telling them to cancel the show. First and foremost, wrong service.
Nice attempt, but entirely wrong.
Well done. 10,000 signatures for it was 1,000 signatures for the wrong channel. But the series itself was actually really fucking good. But people were saying, "Oh, give us a season 2, you fucks! Build upon the book." And all I'm thinking is, if Terry Pratchett was alive, you wouldn't get a season 2. You wouldn't get another book. And Neil Gaiman is alive, and he's going to fight tooth and nail and make sure that no greedy Amazon executives force into a season 2.
Yeah.
He's just going to leave it as is. He ended it as well as he could.
So Good Omens has an ending.
Good Omens has an ending. It's a miniseries. It's been described as a miniseries. It's called an Amazon miniseries on Prime. But people are saying, "Oh, give us a season 2." And I'm like, you misunderstand the book itself if you're baying for a season 2.
Yeah. The voice actress for Hollow for the English dub is Brina Palencia. She actually, because my thing for dubcasts is the Fairy Tail Guild. The guild for Fairy Tail is so big, and each character is so unique that I follow their voices to different things. Brina Palencia is actually the voice for Juvia Lockstar in Fairy Tail, who is psychotic.
Okay.
I love Juvia when she's on screen, and I had no idea that it would be her voice actor like doing this job about 5 years before she actually becomes Juvia.
Right.
And she, like, I love her as Juvia, I love her as Hollow, and she's got this very posh and proper accent that when she speaks, it's like, you listen. But
you listen the fuck up.
The drama for the show is really good, and it's all about the character interactions. They put so much of like little moments between the two main characters, and by the time it ends, you're like a wreck. Yeah. You're an emotional wreck. You're suddenly going, I just want them to be happy. It's a weird thing for a big guy to be like, oh my god, I just want these two drawings to be happy together. But at the same time, like, but I really do need those two drawings to be happy together for the rest of their non-existent lives.
I mean, that's why people get so upset about the ending of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
People just wanted it to be better, and it wasn't better.
We get invested in things that aren't real. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Very fucked up, but amazing.
It's also amazing that these things that aren't real can kind of that they can teach us lessons that, you know, real important figures in our life should teach us.
Yeah. Like economics.
Yeah.
Half of Spice and Wolf is economics.
Yeah.
And you walk away from it going, God damn it, how did no one teach us any of this in high school?
How did no one teach us the value of money?
Yeah. How did
all we got taught in high school was just make money. That's all you want.
Yeah. Just make the money. How are we going to do it? Doesn't matter. Not my fucking problem, nerd.
The minute you go to university and figure that out, you're out my hair.
Yeah. By the time you actually figure it out, you won't be my problem anymore. So legally, I don't have to tell you.
I'll take 10 cc's of you're not my problem anymore.
Actually, speaking regarding, we talked this out about the fair.
Yeah.
Did you hear that next year, the Bonus Fair, which is always on a Friday,
Yeah, always on the last Friday of what month are we in? June.
could be Thursday?
Oh my god. Who gives a fuck? Genuinely, I've had conversations with my doctor about the current health of my stomach that I was more interested in. Turns out, ain't good.
Oh boy.
I mean, it's flavour effect. It's alright. I'm not dying.
Okay.
I just need to sort the diet.
Take a really good shit.
Yeah. But no stomach ulcer.
Nice one.
Glad with that. They did. The doctor just pretty much immediately said, I'm not going to force you to do an endoscopy because that's just going to be too invasive. I'm not going to put you through that camera getting shoved down your throat. But yeah, she just said, from what you've told me, it's not a stomach ulcer. It just sounds like you need to watch what you're eating. Start eating some more veg, which I'm not bothered about.
Yeah.
I actually found out that I really, really like broccoli.
Interesting.
I've started eating more broccoli and things, but I have to cut down on bread and some dairy.
Ugh.
Dairy is going to be a tough one. Bread, not really, because I only really eat bread with a burger, and I don't really have a burger every month or so.
But then how are you supposed to have a cheeseburger?
I don't really have a cheeseburger.
But what do you do when you want to feel happy? Cheeseburgers are the source of all happiness. I don't understand what you do.
I can't. Beer's another one I can't drink. I need to cut out beer. But they did say
what about the vodka?
Vodka. Whiskey.
Whoa, no vodka?
The whiskey. I don't like vodka. Vodka tastes like nothing, but it kills you.
That's why I love it.
It's a silent killer. No, I'm allowed whiskey in smaller measures, but with diet mixers is okay.
Okay.
I'm not dying completely.
Not yet.
I still have, at the age of 27, the dietary requirements of a frightened 90-year-old man.
Jesus.
It's not great.
Contrast that to me, where I'm like, throw jalapenos and everything.
You're just like, sure, give me some of those Scotch bonnets. I'm just sitting there going, KJ, take the cheese off it, pal. Just rattling because...
If you give me cheese, boy, I'll shit myself.
I had one slice of Domino's pizza last week. Fuck me, I thought I was going to die. It wasn't even. It was just regular roast chicken, cheese and tomato pizza.
Yeah.
And I was just finished it and I was going, oh, that was quite bad. Oh god, I feel like I'm going to die.
Oh god. It's coming from within.
Just, oh lord, he come. Ran to the toilet and spent the next 10 minutes in there. It's bad time.
I watched, the other thing I watched as well was, just talking of eating, was Attack on Titan. I just played catch up before you arrived. Segue. Speaking of eating and horrific effects, Attack on Titan. We just caught up to episode 54, where we've had some pretty serious character events, but I'm glad that the show is back on track. Okay. Don't know if you watched it, season 1.
Spoiler away. But,
season 1
spoiler
was
warning.
the hype.
Yeah, I remember watching the first 4 episodes of season 1. And I remember episode 1 being hype as fuck because there was just explosions and action.
Yeah.
Episode 2 there's still a bit of action. And then episodes 3 and 4 were just let's discuss conversations, and I guess they can't all be firing on all cylinders, but
yeah,
at the same time, the next few episodes are all just discussion with very little action in there. And I was just thinking,
it's
you
very
sell the
well
show on the hype of the opening and the hype of the promotional material around it, then you've just slowed it down to a crawl after 2 episodes.
Yeah. You have to binge the entire season in one day. Yeah. That's how you get into Attack on Titan. You just sit down and you go, I will now get into Attack on Titan, and you go for it. But season 3...
For your enjoyment, ladies and gentlemen, I shall now get into Attack on Titan. 6 hours later.
6 hours later, I should have had something to drink in the middle of all this.
My kidney fell out.
Just because of Aaron's salt. But the season 3 for the show has been really good, and it's now it's doing the part 2 for season 3, and we're now resolving a lot of big conflicts. And I swear to God, if someone doesn't kill someone and actually confirm the kill, I'm gonna lose it. At one
So there's a lot
point,
of people just wounding is it the Titans or other people?
it's Titans. There was somebody we thought might be dead that actually just came back at the end of the episode. I'm gonna try to avoid spoiling stuff, but at one point, one of the Titan characters, one of the people inside the Titans, had basically the top of his head removed.
Okay.
And then he came back. I was so fucking livid, and they've now got to the point where, at the start of the next episode, they can confirm the kills of 2 characters. If this doesn't happen, I'm going to go ballistic and snap this fucking table.
I thought the whole thing about the Titans was when they change into the Titan forms, that person still exists inside the Titan.
Yes.
So it's kind of like a big meat Gundam.
Yes, it is a meat Gundam. And they've found ways to get people out of it by, you can cut the nape of the neck.
I've seen that.
They do that to kill the normal Titans, but if there's a Titan pilot basically in there, and they do refer to them as Titan pilots.
Titan formers or something?
No, they call them Titan pilots.
Oh, Titan pilots.
And they say if the Titan pilot's in there, you can pull them out. And they can extract themselves. Like, you can cut open a Titan and the person can get themselves out of it. And then the Titan body just falls over limp because it's not got a brain anymore because you're the brain.
Alright, you've taken out the core.
Yeah. But there was all this stuff about how experienced pilots know that as they are the entire brain, they can actually shift their consciousness throughout their body so that their entire body acts as the brain for the Titan, so they can shift things around and avoid pretty lethal damage. Because one guy gets stabbed in the face and he goes, good thing I shifted my consciousness out of my face. And I'm like, I hate you. I fucking hate the show.
You just answered your own question.
Yeah.
If they can shift the consciousness, and that guy that got the top of his head chopped off.
I know, but at the same time I was watching it, I was like, they had him right there. He was standing, he was lying, his Titan form is lying down, his body is right there. You can see he doesn't have the top of his head. Why are you not grenading the shit out of that?
Yeah, confirm the kill.
Confirm the goddamn kills in the show, and it would save a lot of problems, because at this point you can bring a character back a couple times to redo fights, to show progress for characters or whatever, or to help drive home a narrative point, or as a surprise.
Yeah.
At this point, all the characters that have been confirmed or killed, or who should have been confirmed as kills, have come back so many times. If you don't kill them this time, you're just taking the piss out of me as a viewer, because you've now established another Titan bad guy as a character and as a worthy foe for all the other characters in the show. Like, it will take all of them to bring him down, because he's smarter, he's a lot better at being a Titan commander than everyone else we've seen in the show so far, and
he's better at the job.
He made it out by the skin of his teeth, and he did so in a way that I'm like, okay, I'm cool with it.
Yeah,
he's set up to be the show's big bad for the next couple of seasons, but you need to clear your roster of the characters that have come before. So please, Attack on Titan, confirm your kills. I could watch the next episode. It's be subtitled as opposed to dubbed, but I kind of want to watch the dub version, because the cast for that show is great as well.
That's why I haven't watched any episodes of One Punch Man season 2. I just think the English cast is so much better than the subtitle or the Japanese.
I've been watching the show, and I'm guessing you've heard gripes about the animation style.
Yeah, I don't see it. I see it looking just as good as it was before.
There's only one issue, and it's the lack of camera movement. Like, there's a lot less. There's more static shots. No, there's no like whipping camera panning around stuff. But I don't know if it's just because we're not at those fights yet.
Yeah.
Like, it needs, if you're going to do that, it needs to be for a certain fight, and I think we're getting there soon. Like, I think about episode 9 out of 12. Episode 10 should be out. I can sit and watch it, but right now we're lacking in dynamic camera movement. So, although it's definitely a more interesting story, because it's to do with monsters versus heroes that aren't Saitama, and that's what they've done really well. Because people, I don't like it. It's not about One Punch Man anymore. Yes. Because he wins every fight in one punch.
That's the point of the One Punch Man story. It's just his story, being the all-powerful hero, is boring as fuck. Show us about the people that are trying to rise up to that level.
Or the people who are trying to avoid it, like King.
Yeah.
King's character is the fucking selling point of season 2.
I remember reading the manga, and the issues with King in it are fucking hysterical. Because they have this, I'm guessing you've heard of the King engine. You hear this thumping beat whenever King's near. It's just this heart going into fucking cardiac.
That's him having a panic attack and just freaking out. And it's
so good.
So here it comes, charging the King machine. It's him like, oh my god, I don't want to die here.
I keep getting lucky. I don't want to die here. It's so good.
At one point, he confirms that he's never actually been in a fight with the monsters. Most of the time, it's actually Saitama.
Yeah.
He's just the guy who gets covered in the blood splatter while Saitama runs off to the market. You're like, what the shit? So it's such a weird character, but he's good.
Perfect.
And King sells you on One Punch Man season 2.
just to take you back a bit there, you're talking about characters being killed off. It's kind of something that I wish more TV shows, animes, video games and stuff, I wish they would do that a lot more.
Mhm.
Just kill off characters. Have the bravery to kill off a main character.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, particularly in anime, there's a lot of characters that get killed, or killed, air quotations, and just come back in a couple episodes. You just think, how poignant would that be if you actually just killed that character and said, that character is gone now.
Well, actually...
That might have been your favourite character, but he's now gone.
Yeah.
Let that vacuum cause a ripple effect throughout the rest of the show.
Well, actually, I should point out that the episode of Attack on Titan I just watched called Hero, episode 54, they did just kill someone.
Alright.
They did kill a hero.
Okay.
My problem is they never kill villains. But, that character that died in this episode, he fucking dead.
Alright.
It's not going to be like... There's been a lot of... There's a good scene where they realise that one of the Titans is throwing rocks, and he's crushing them before he throws them, so he's throwing shrapnel. But because it's shrapnel at him, but because he's throwing it at people, it's still a brick. Yeah, he's still throwing a brick at max speed through your fucking face. So he's decimating people. Like there's a cavalry charge, and they charge against the Titan to distract them, and he just goes, okay then, and just starts throwing like these these baseball pitches, like he's drawn, throwing in a very specific baseball style, and he's just like lobbing shrapnel at these guys, and they're just having like, these weird moments of like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. They're all freaking out. One of them goes, I wonder what my girlfriend's doing, knowing her she's probably at home sleeping right now. I'd really love to join her. I mean, just one last morning, waking up by her side, and then a brick goes through his face. And I'm like, whoa!
That's either expert comedic timing or just the worst luck.
I saw it and I just watched that scene. I'm like, holy fuck! That was so much darker than it needed to be. Yeah. I was like, I just want to be happy one last time. Brick in the face.
And your head split open like a watermelon.
But they had one guy from the cavalry charge, because it's people throwing, like they're possibly killing the horses, so people getting thrown as well. Yeah. So there's one guy makes it out. One guy just like wakes up, like he was thrown from his horse, he goes unconscious, and he wakes up afterwards, and he just looks around, and it's like he's actually upset that he survived. He's like, oh my god, I didn't want to live through this. Like, I was willing to die. Yeah. And he's just looking around at all these like broken corpses and dead horses and bricks and like chunks of rock everywhere, and he's looking around and he's like, I wish I died. And I thought, oh, that's weird. Like, it's such a, like, it's not wrong.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of highlights the whole horrors of war thing. Yeah.
But it's just the fact that one guy woke up just because he got thrown from his horse, avoided getting hit by another bricks, didn't get run over by another horse, and he's just kind of looking around as like the last parts of the battle are happening in the background. It's a weirdly good scaling shot because it's him looking around and he's like a fully grown man, but in the background you see Captain Levi bouncing around as like a little fleet around these other Titans that are in the background chasing him. And you're like, oh wow, that's a really weird. It's the like, you know, in Saving Private Ryan, where you have the one guy looking for his arm. Yeah. Like that. Like it's just
beach blast shot.
It's so odd. Like it's something out of the horrors of war. Like it's one guy waking up to the reality of what he's signed up for. Because it's good though. So really, it's returning to, after season 2 was a bit iffy, this is Attack on Titan returning to peak form. So yeah. But confirm your kills, goddammit.
It always bugs me when it's the old super villain thing, which is that I'm just going to assume that everything went to plan and he's plummeting to his death. Excuse me, I will go and print the giant rocket. Just, confirm your kills. Make sure that the giant Titan that could destroy the entire city with his right foot is actually dead.
They've actually did a cool thing with the Colossal Titan, where like he seems to be...
Isn't that the armored Titan?
No, the Colossal is the big one that like peeks over the wall. Yeah. He his transformation, he expels so much energy, he acts as a nuke. At one point he transforms himself, like he throws himself up in the air, explodes into his Titan form, but the displacement of air destroys half the city. And you're like, whoa, that was it's a cool idea. Alright. And for some reason the fight for the prefecture, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's Shingoki prefecture of the Titan walls, is weirdly tactical. Like there's moments like that where it's about the positioning of people with the Titans and the weapons they've got and what they can do, because there's limited resources and they have to fight for their own survival. So the last couple episodes have been really good because it's people struggling to figure out how to solve Titan-based problems.
One thing I want to know is, what do the Titans actually want? Because I'm guessing they're wanting to get into the cities. Do they just want to eat people, or do they have a big grand plan?
There are a couple layers to the show, and I'm not going to spoil the Grand Master layer.
Alright, okay.
But an average Titan is not piloted.
Right.
It's not a person in there. It's just a thing that wants to eat.
Right.
So those ones want
the
to
smaller,
just eat.
unnamed Titans, because I'm guessing there's the Primal Titan, which is the big gorilla fucking thing.
Yeah.
And there's the Colossal Titan, which
That's
is the big
the
flesh
Beast
thing.
Titan is the
Beast
monkey one. There's the Armored Titan, and then there's the Colossal Titan.
Is there a female Titan as well?
There was. She's been captured. Anna she was captured at the end of season 1.
Alright.
But they...
Surely capturing that, she could just change, break out.
It makes sense towards the end. Like, if you watch the show...
I'm guessing they've captured her and put her
without
on some
spoiling
kind
it for people, I can explain it off mic, but to explain it to people, I just want to give them the thing of, she gets captured, and it explains, like, that she can't just tighten out of it.
Yeah.
But they have... The characters, the people who pilot Titans, have their own plot. They have a reason to be coming after Eren and the people that are inside the walls.
Right.
And it's when you realize, you're like, oh my god, it makes sense on that level. And then there's like another level, like there's a third level to all of this that you're like, okay, right, got ya. This is a lot weirder than we thought it was. So I definitely recommend not reading the Wikipedia until you're completely caught up on the anime / manga / other stuff, like the light novels.
I'm just going to YouTube clip the shit out of this and go on Wikipedia.
Just read the Wikipedia. If you don't give a shit, just read the Wikipedia.
It's something that I've kind of lost interest in, is anime, because Dragon Ball stopped. It is coming back, potentially coming back. Hope it is coming back.
It should be.
But
I think they've started production on it actually.
Nice.
So yeah.
Because apart from One Punch Man, Dragon Ball, I think that's about it. There's not really much anime that I go out of my way to watch anymore.
Yeah, I need to find some. I'm in a bit of a weird non-action point. I'm just watching non-action shows for a little while.
Yeah,
and I'll go
if
back
everything's
to
all action, it gets boring as fuck. You need to cut it up a bit.
I'm very tempted to start watching. They're making another season of Fruits Basket, which is apparently very good. And I'm like, I don't know what that is.
A few people that I know are very, very excited about this, and I don't know how the English dub's going to change, because Vic Mignogna was heavy in that show.
Ooh,
very, very prominent character in that. But then again, it's casting; they will just change him. They'll get a voice alike, and they'll change him in.
Yeah, the case for that one, by the way, just keep watching Arcade of Law. It's getting weirder and weirder every week.
So many people thinking that they know better than a lawyer. Speaking of lawyers, actually, I found a fucking fantastic YouTube channel called Legal Eagle.
All right.
And his stuff is he just takes movies and in a couple of cases video games and TV shows, and just he walks through how.
Is this the guy that's like the Suits gets lawyered? Like he refers to it as getting
Suits
lawyered.
Get lawyered. He talks about how what's the word? How does he say? How
it's like an expert. It's one of those videos where you give the expert opinions. Like a real doctor watches a couple episodes of ER, or a real doctor watches
how close to the real thing legally this thing is. So he goes through an episode of Suits. He goes through a couple of episodes of Scrubs when they're doing the medical malpractice, and he goes through the Dark Knight and racks up how many crimes Batman and Joker break.
Right,
it's about 100 and something odd laws each that they break.
Nice.
Most of Batman's include hacking into equipment.
Surveillance, freedom of stuff,
and basic vigilantism, assault and battery type thing.
Yeah,
he goes through there's a scene in Captain Marvel, a deleted scene, where she hassles a biker. He went through that saying, "Oh, she's not guilty of assault and battery. The guy that started it is guilty of assault and battery."
Yeah,
it's actually a really good show. He's always pimping some website called Indochino, which is where he gets all his fitted suits from.
All right,
they're really fucking nice suits, but it's in America and Canada only.
But
yeah, if you like people trying to apply logic to video games and movies and stuff, I'd go and watch his channel.
Yeah,
he goes through the video game Phoenix Wright at one point.
Yeah, and
he just loses his mind. He's like, this isn't how it works. You can't just shout objection when you're the fucking witness.
Good show. Nick Rekieta stuff. If you want to see someone be drunk and angry at like idiots online who think they know better than a lawyer, Rekieta's got you covered. And I think he talks about legal. I think he's okay with the guy. Like he doesn't work with him or he doesn't talk with him. He doesn't know him that well, but he says that his stuff's okay. And so I was like, I'll get around to checking him out. But
it's a good channel. Good if you want to if you don't just want to watch comedy or something, you want to just watch someone applying logic to something.
Yeah, if you want to learn something,
Yeah, it's a good way to spend about half an hour.
I do find lawyers are an interesting breed. Like I think there's just
Very
something
pompous.
about the way they think about issues that's kind of objective, but weirdly, it starts off as like, oh, they're just being objective about it, and you're like, I kind of wonder if they're kind of callous, like in a way.
Yeah, there is a certain neutrality and a certain distance that, I mean, if you're going to be technical, the term lawyer doesn't exist in Scotland because anyone who studies law at a higher level is a lawyer. So I'm a lawyer. The technical term for anyone who practices law in Scotland would be a solicitor or an advocate, a solicitor or advocate. As someone who's trying to get to that level, you're trained to think very neutrally. If you come to a problem, you're not going to think, the evidence points me in this direction, or you're not going to say I agree with this point or I agree with that point. You have to say the evidence points me in this direction, but there's a counter argument from this point. You're kind of trained to think kind of coldly.
Yeah,
you're tending to think, well, I'll accept that, but I'm not going to take it into consideration until I've looked at this.
Yeah,
there's always that distance that you need to maintain from it.
I look at what I've seen so far, and it's just the neutrality thing is correct, and it's all about following the rules.
Yeah,
and that if you shouldn't do things, or you shouldn't say shit unless you can back it up. And it's just hearing these people out. It's not quite like there's another language. It's like there's a hidden layer of this language in the way that they speak and talk. And maybe it's just because it's American lawyers. And
I think there's definitely a bit of that in every legal professional, because you're trained to take a normal sentence and look, like you say, at that hidden layer and just try and discern from a sentence an entire picture. Yeah. And it's quite a difficult thing to do, but if you can train yourself to do it, it changes your whole worldview. You do become, like you say, pretty callous. You become quite bitter. You just think that doesn't make sense, or that's not how I would look at it. Ergo, or therefore, it is.
You would say ergo.
Yeah, ergo, I think it's wrong.
Yeah,
you're that's how you're trained to think, and it does create a kind of a pompous air about some lawyers.
And I will say, legalese does not help.
I never try and speak in legalese. I try and keep it.
The weird things that people like, the weird phrasing, the breaking up of sentence structure, the random injections of Latin or whatever into certain like legal documents. Just watching Arcade Law stream, I'm like, I've learned so much about how you structure a sentence. Like how he talks in general is based on his constant reading of legal documents and like Texas legalese or whatever. He's
throat goblin.
They're just a throat goblin.
It's been happening quite a lot. I think it might be something wrong with my throat. But I was talking to my brother because there's a Steam sale going on. He was saying, look through the Steam sale, see if there's any you want. And I seen a Crazy Taxi for 80 pence. Yeah. And what I meant to say was, sure, Gordon, get that. But what came out was, sure. He went, what the fuck was that? Were you drowning or something? I went, I have no idea. But if you could buy Crazy Taxi, go for it.
Yeah. I also got an email about Amazon Prime Day. 15th July.
Not looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm going to spend some money.
15th of July is the day that Captain Marvel comes out, and also 2 days before Fire Emblem The Three Houses comes out. So my money has already been earmarked for a couple of things. So I'm going to have to just throw my wallet out the window.
Just walk over to your mum and be like, Mum, I'm going to give you my wallet. You don't let me touch it.
You genuinely have no idea. In fact, it wouldn't even work. So I could just go on Amazon and one-click order everything. Like, I'm going to log off Amazon. I'm going to give you my password. Only use it for Amazon Prime. Do not buy anything, or I will fucking burn the house down.
I'm looking at it thinking, if certain things appear, I'm going to get them.
There's two things that I'm looking for. One is Monster Hunter Generations on the Switch. The other one is an Xbox controller, because the one that I have is slowly dying a death.
And fighting games do not help controllers' lifespans.
It's like it's had a stroke because the whole left side of it doesn't work.
Well, shit.
Yeah, it's not something I'd ever say where other people could hear me, but yeah, it feels like my Xbox controller's had a stroke. Which is not something I want to make a joke about. Strokes are a very serious thing.
Well, it's too late.
Yeah, damn it.
Speaking of too late, I think it's time we got the showstopper. Yep. So, actually, you mentioned deepfakes earlier, and I was wondering if you'd heard the Joe Rogan deepfakes.
I've seen some of them. There was one that was Eddie Bravo and what's his name? Big Brown. Fighter and the Kid.
Brendan Schaub.
There was one where somebody imposed those two guys' faces onto Leonardo DiCaprio and McConaughey from The Wolf of Wall Street.
This is
That's the only one I've seen.
This is not like that. It's an AI created audio file.
Okay.
Where Joe Rogan's, they've basically just taken all the podcast clips and just used his voice and fed that into a machine that will then generate sentences with the sounds that someone's made, and with some of such a back catalogue and so many hours of recorded audio.
1,700 episodes or something is that now?
1,300.
1,300.
I think. But the sheer volume of content and hours of like spoken word from him means that you can create a complete picture of how someone speaks. And it's just a clip of him talking about he is funding a team in the NHL for a hockey team that is made up of chimps. Because it's always like, it's the usual monkey stuff, like it's the usual kind of like, chimps so strong, so like squat and built, like you can't knock them over because they're so small. We just got to train them how to skate, and then we'll get them on the ring and they will destroy everything, because I'm starting a new chimp team of ice hockey players, and it's great. You listen to it and the audio will sound wrong if you listen to Joe Rogan Experience a lot, because it's not recorded, it's not like filtered through his mics. Like it doesn't sound like a current episode of Joe Rogan podcast where he's got his condenser mics and he sounds a certain way. But at the same time, that is Joe Rogan's voice.
Yeah,
and he's heard
mistaking that.
He's heard it and he's like, I can't disprove that I said that. That sounds exactly like me. And I think
this
just
whole deep fake technology, I'm not gonna lie, scares the shit out of me, because when this, again, the current political climate and how in the UK we're currently trying to choose between, quite literally, Dumb and Dumber. We've got, have you seen the pictures online?
No.
There's a picture of the two current Tory candidates that will be getting elected to the post of Prime Minister.
Is that the Rory Stewart guy and Boris Johnson?
Boris Johnson. And there's a picture of Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels from the latest Dumb and Dumber movie. The pose is the same, with the exception of Jeff Daniels not making the weird face, but they look identical. And now, it was always going to be the shiniest of two turds, but after Boris Johnson's recent comments about Scotland, fuck that guy even more.
He's the joke candidate. Like, they were like, yeah, Boris is going to win it. But we've been joking about this for 2 years. Yeah. Boris is actually going to win it now. But right now, a deep fake from either one of those guys would not surprise me. Yeah,
the point I was going to lead on is just with how desperately people are trying to get the one up on their opposition. Deep fakes could start circulating. I think people, I mean, I hope that it doesn't, but people could start getting to that bitter as fuck level. I hope it doesn't happen, because that's a scary thought. Yeah.
And with people having hair trigger tensions around the world, it's like, goddamn. The good news, however, and this is something I just read, and this was what would be the actual showstopper for us, is that they have trained AI to work on deepfakes of video. So they can now spot, it basically targets in on strange movements around eyes and mouth. Because part of it is you can actually fake footage by making like someone's lips move. They're training AI to look at strange movements around the mouth that aren't natural. So there are little glitches and things that happen at like a micro, like a frame level that you wouldn't spot unless
something
you were really zoomed in.
Undetectable by the human eye, but an AI or some kind of program could pick up on these little strange nuances.
So there is actually now, in the good news side of things for a showstopper, it's rare that a showstopper has good news, is that there are actually people trying to combat deepfakes which are made by AI with other AI. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's our showstopper for the day, because it's, as you say, like the ramifications of deepfakes are massive.
It scares the shit out of me.
It's not just about celebrity porn anymore. It's about bigger things.
I mean, as someone whose aspiration for his legal career is to accept a fairly lofty public position, I don't want deepfakes to be a thing by the time I become a judge.
It's too late. I'm sorry.
I mean, if anyone, I'm hoping to still be. I'm hoping to get myself in shape and remain in shape, because it's like being a fat fuck. But I'm hoping to remain in shape even throughout my career. So hopefully by the time I'm a judge, I'm still in good shape. I can just flex at them and be like, "What the fuck are you doing? You're skinny bastard. You ain't coming to this. I'm the judge, motherfucker.
I'm the judge."
They call me the judge. Judge of pain.
Judge these nuts.
Judge your maw.
Judge your maw, presiding over the court of Gibberpish. For another episode. I've been Colin,
presiding Judge D's nuts.
If you want to reach out to Judge D's nuts, you can do so at Gibberpish on Twitter, and you can email the podcast for his personalised legal opinion at gibberpishpodcast@gmail.com.
If you're female, it's all just going to be sit on it, baby. No, please don't email me for legal advice, because I will have to charge you.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing though.
Yeah, I mean, It's
Free
not going to
money,
be good.
bitch.
2 things. It's not going to be good legal advice because I'm only in second year. 3, you're going to wait. 2, I want 2 things. I want 1 and 3. Fuck it, end the podcast.
And the worst part of Dom's legal advice is that he is technically retarded.
And it's written in crayon.
I've been calling
Sue the bad man.
I've been calling Grim. He's been Judge These Nuts. We've been talking Gibberpish.
Sue the man.